It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice on the board doing his thing as he does every day is TLC. And to my right, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by a former Buckeye wide receiver and a Grey Cup MVP by the name of DeVere Posey.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Depot, my guy, welcome back in. How are you on this lovely Monday, July 14th of our lovely year 2025?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. What's up, Columbus? CB, how you doing, man?
It's TLC.
Good. I haven't heard
Actually, that is CB 2.0. So technically, you're correct.
I take that back.
I just didn't know if you guys had like a weekend show thing, you guys working together sometimes where he was CB on the weekends because he has like four different nicknames.
I know we have a Colin manager. And I know we have a Colburn. I get it.
By the way, shout out to Colin, wedding week for him.
Let's go.
Big week for CB. And look,
let's go.
My
guy
guy's
stressed out. Offices today and said, "Hey, happy game week."
Yeah, he's got to lock in.
He's stressed out.
He's been super stressed out. Like I've seen him the last couple of weeks, just talking about all the things that he needs to do. And you've been there, done that, so you've been in those shoes before. But yeah, shout out to our guy CB. Massive week for him. Couldn't be happier for he and his lovely lady and their family as well. So really looking forward to seeing some of the photos and just hopefully hearing that those guys have a good time, which I'm sure they will.
Oh man, wedding week is you'll go. You look like you're gonna get married here soon, Matty Ice. I don't know when, but your wedding week will be one of those weeks where it's a lot of build up, but you get to see all your loved ones in one room, but all that drama that comes with those loved ones will be in one room. So enjoy and try your best to have a good time. Right. So, but it's good though, man.
Yeah, man. I love to hear it, man. And we're going to have a good time today. We got some fun stuff lined up for you guys, folks. Thanks for joining us as always. Hope you guys had a great weekend. 12:30, we're going to go live down to SEC Media Days and lock in on the Texas Longhorns with Eric Henry, who covers the Texas football program for 24/7 Sports. 12:45, as we always do to round out the first hour, we will party like a rock star. And then 1:30, Joe DeLeon, NFL Draft for A to Z Sports, will hop on to talk about all the prospects we'll be watching around college football. Just a quick reminder, if you guys ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, all you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Subscribe to that pod as well. Look, if you're in a good mood, feeling good, give us a little 5-star review, man. We always have some fun stuff going on the show, and we love interacting with you guys. Depot, how was the weekend, my man?
Oh, it was great, man. We decided to, toil in some dirt. We did some yard work this weekend. And, for me, when you were a kid, you hated that stuff, right? You did not want to do it. But I appreciate my mom, my uncle, who, I used to work for my uncle's lawn company. So, edging those yards and making those baseball lines. I take pride in mowing the grass. I take pride in yard work and gardening. And, you kind of forget those things as you get older. So it was a good weekend filled with that, almost therapeutic in a sense, man. Great weekend.
I love to hear, man. Because I thoroughly enjoy cleaning the house.
Yep.
Like even now, because I remember growing up every Saturday before I did anything as a kid. Here's a bucket with water, some Pine Sol. You're cleaning every bathroom, every room, vacuuming every bathroom and room from top to bottom in this house. So now that's kind of in me to where I get to the weekend, I'm like, I got to clean everything. So I enjoy that and mowing the lawn. Mowing the lawn is therapeutic for me.
Yep.
Throw on some headphones, music, podcast, book, whatever you're into, and you just zone off for a couple hours. So, no, I'm in on that, man. Glad you had a good weekend. The Queen Bee and I, we slid over to Indy this weekend again to check out the Indiana Fever game, which was great. Indiana is always on fire now because of the Fever and Caitlin Clark and that team.
And those Pacers.
And the Pacers, they're getting ready over there for the WNBA All-Star game, which is this weekend in Indy. So it was a great time over there. Did a nice little brunch on Saturday, bounced around downtown Indy, which is a good, downtown Indy, they did it right. They did it right over there with how everything is set up. They get you in and out smoothly, and the city itself is just great. So Indy, man, I always have some great things to say about that. And then the sports world was buzzing, man. Had a lot going on. I know TLC and AR were big into Wimbledon this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sinner gets it done. He brings it home. How did you guys feel about that championship match between the two over there?
I was hoping for 5 sets. So Alcaraz and Sinner had a really good French Open final back in April or May, whichever it was. And that was like an all-timer. So I was hoping for 5 more sets. Didn't get it. It went 4. But I think Alcaraz or Sinner have now won each of the last 7 slams.
Okay.
So now we'll be waiting until late August for the U.S. Open to see if they can close that out. But,
Yeah.
we're at the point now where Novak Djokovic is kind of at the end because this is the first time, because he's always said up to this point that like, I still have a lot left to prove, which no, you don't. But, the athlete's brain, he still feels like he has a lot left to prove. And I guess just like prove that he can beat age. This was the first tournament where he basically admitted, yeah, age is catching up to me, and I can feel it because the longer the tournament lasts, the worse I feel. Yeah. And so it kind of feels like we are getting into that new era. DeVere and I were rooting for Ben Shelton. He made it pretty far.
Absolutely.
But it looks like Sinner and Alcaraz kind of have a stranglehold on things right now.
And that's where I was going. The passing of, obviously, Andre Agassi, and you got Roger Federer and Novak and those guys. In our childhood, who we looked up as the major players in tennis, we have an American player to represent us that is Ben Shelton, and he has beat Sinner before. But it's like a crazy stat, CB. You could tell me, TLC, I'm sorry, if you it's like I think he beat him in a match, but he hasn't beaten Sinner in one set in over 15 sets. And then you have Alcaraz, who can play at a high level, and he still leads his career winnings over Sinner, and he took a L. So we had 3 major players in tennis to look forward to, 3 major players to usher us into the next generation. And it's something about Ben Shelton and on cloud. I don't know if you ever rock those shoes or wore them. They're going crazy right now. And you see a new tennis brand dawning with him and Coco. And it's man, tennis is in a good spot.
Yeah.
It's in a good spot.
Yeah, it seemed like the excitement is definitely there for people that are into tennis, and the game's only going to continue to grow, especially with you guys talking about some American players maybe really leveling up and being in the mix more times.
American men, yeah.
American men, yeah, that's big time. So congrats to Sinner for getting it done, but also congrats to the American guys that were making noise over there at Wimbledon. We have the home run derby tonight. That will be interesting. I think you can get into it if you do a little sprinkle. We'll do a little sprinkle in Bet365 later, maybe pick a guy or two that we're into for the home run derby. That's in Atlanta, I believe, tonight. So hopefully we get some legendary hip-hop artists from the city of Atlanta to come out over the next couple of days to really get that thing. But I got to be surprised if we don't see the likes of Jermaine Dupri and Ludacris and
Lil Jon.
Maybe Lil Jon and Big Boy and Andre 3000. When you go to Atlanta, that's the things you got to do. So home run derby.
Big Boy.
Yeah, Big Boy, no doubt, right? Home run derby happening in Atlanta today. Speaking of hip-hop, we touched on this on Thursday because there was a picture that went out with Meg Thee Stallion, a female rapper in her own right from Houston, not Atlanta. And in the background, we had some people doing some Twitter investigating because it looked like one Klay Thompson was in the background of this photo of Meg Thee Stallion. We come out of this weekend, and Klay Thompson pretty much stamped it that, oh, yeah, we're together. We're the new power couple in the world of sports and entertainment. So you have Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion now, and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift now. We got some real power couples going on in sports and hip-hop and music.
Sheldon and Trinity Rodman.
I like this. I'm here for Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, you are?
Yeah, because it surprised me.
It's the right amount of toxicity.
Because Klay, to me, I didn't see Klay going down that path.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't expect Klay to be with Meg Thee Stallion because Klay's kind of chill, soft-spoken, does his own thing. But now here he is making a big splash, and I'm here for it. I like this.
Absolutely. I mean, Klay, if this is serious, if this is the direction we head in, I expect a high flyer, right? Because Meg Thee Stallion's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
And Klay is himself a tall guy, so it could work out for these.
I agree. Look, Klay spent some time in Texas last year as a Dallas Maverick. She's from Texas, the Houston area, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some crossing of paths there, man. But I listen, man. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift took over the whole NFL world and entertainment world. We'll see what Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion can do. So there's some interesting things, man, coming out of the weekend in the world of sports and entertainment. When we come back, TLC mentioned the phrase something to prove when he talked about one of the legends of tennis. One of the legends in the coaching world of college football, he may feel like he has some things left to prove, according to Greg McElroy. And we're talking about Nick Saban. You don't want to miss what Greg McElroy had to say about Saban. Next, we'll talk about it right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know their co-founders are Ohio natives? Yeah. Window Nation has been replacing windows in the Columbus region for over 15 years. Not only does Window Nation know what windows work best for Ohio homeowners like you, they're also local to the area. And right now, you can take advantage of Window Nation's biggest sale of the year. Get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. You heard that right. With Window Nation, you won't pay any interest until 2030. Plus, they'll install your new windows in 1 day or less, so you can get back to your daily routine right away. Personally, I wouldn't procrastinate. You don't want to wait on this deal. It's a trustworthy company like Window Nation, getting your windows in 1 day or less. 50% off all window styles now, plus 0 interest until 2030 with Window Nation. Call them up, 866-90NATION, or visit windownation.com to get your free quote on replacement windows. 866-90NATION or windownation.com. And tell them T-Bone sent you.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Right now, select varieties are only $2.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of showers and thunderstorms today will be a lot more spread out than this morning. Otherwise, expect skies to be mostly to partly cloudy with our afternoon highs in the upper 80s. For tonight, mostly clear skies overnight, lows down right around 70. And then for tomorrow, we'll see chances of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, more isolated in nature. Otherwise, skies will be mostly sunny with our highs near 90. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVere Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver in the house today for AR. Thanks for joining us. Bottom of the hour, we'll go live down to SEC Media Days and lock in on the Texas Longhorns with Eric Henry from 24/7 Sports. Speaking of SEC Media Days, this is got the Twitter streets buzzing a little bit right now. Greg McElroy, former Alabama quarterback, played under Nick Saban down there in Tuscaloosa, had this to say on his radio show this morning. A person in the know believes Nick Saban will return to coaching. Quote, if it wasn't someone notable, I would never say a word. And so he's throwing that out there. Clearly he has direct ties to Nick Saban. To me, on the surface, it seems like Nick Saban is very happy with what he's doing at ESPN, doing game day stuff, still breaking down film. I know it's not the exact same thing as being really in the building every day and building a roster and training your guys to be the best that they possibly can be. But if you're Nick Saban, the vibe that I got, Depot, on the outside looking in as to why he walked away from the sport was, man, this isn't why I fell in love with this thing, the process of where we're headed, right, as a sport. If I'm a head coach and the re-recruiting of my own roster, the transfer portal, the NIL stuff, the collectives, and just all of those things that are just more things that you have to do now as a head coach, I could understand why a guy like Nick Saban that just grew up under a completely different time of college football will be turned off to where the sport is. But to hear this now from Greg McElroy is pretty surprising to me, that Nick Saban would be looking around now at a sport that he just walked away from a couple years ago and saying, yeah, I want to get back in, because things have changed a little bit as far as maybe some of the things that I think turned him off. But I don't know if they've done a complete 180 for Nick Saban to just be like, hey, you know what? I love what I'm seeing there in college football and where it's headed. Let me get back in. This is surprising to me. Is it surprising to you to hear this?
Selfishly, I believe college football and all of its fans would love to see a Nick Saban return. What he built at Alabama, you wonder, does he go back there? He's gone. The statue is there. And guys like him, I just believe, have like this Urban Meyer type of part of their mind, and where it's like, I can do this anywhere. Like, this business model is transferable. And, and so I think at some point, if he were to return, selfishly, I would love for him to come to the Big Ten, right? Like, I would like for him to be in this division of college football, and this side with this kind of what would you say, pay scale? He could. What if he replaced a guy like James Franklin? It's just something like that. But also, as much as I would love to flirt with it in my selfish side, I know golf is very fun, and being 73 and being retired with all the car dealerships that this man has, I'm pretty sure he's enjoying retirement and work for ESPN right now.
It's a grind, man. This thing is an absolute grind, talking about what's required of you now as a head coach. You brought up something interesting, whether or not he would want to stay down in the SEC, come back to the Big Ten. Kalen DeBoer, talk about a lot of pressure on a head coach this year to prove something to his fan base and to the landscape of the sport. It's Kalen DeBoer. Like, he's done some good things recruiting, but as we know down there in Alabama, it's about what are we doing right now, not what's on paper as far as what the future could look like based off of recruiting numbers and then all of those things. And so I feel like Kalen DeBoer is going to have enough runway to figure that thing out at Alabama. Plus, I don't think Nick Saban would want to nudge him out of the way to take his old job back. I just don't see that happening. I don't think this is going to happen, Depot. I don't think he's going to come back to coaching with where the sport is. Would it be great to see? Absolutely. You get one of the Titans, one of the all-timers to come back into this thing and compete. I'm absolutely here for that. But I can't find room for him right now. Look, it's a whole year away. And maybe, like you said, maybe there's a program that feels disappointed in where their coach is and says, we'll throw a big bag at Nick Saban, because that's the other thing, too. If I'm Nick Saban coming back to the world of coaching, at minimum, we're talking $11, $12 million a year to get me back into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're a program, do you have that money to either, one, maybe buy out a coach and pay him down the road and then pay Nick Saban at the same time? So there's a lot of...
And it would be short term because,
no doubt.
It wouldn't be a 10, 15-year kind of like, you wouldn't expect that much.
No, not at all. And how does that affect your recruiting, right? Because that's a similar conversation that we had when it comes to Bill Belichick right now. As well, yes, it'd be cool to be recruited and possibly play for Bill Belichick. How long is he going to be around down there at Chapel Hill if you're a player that wanted to commit to Bill Belichick? Like if I'm a senior in high school right now and North Carolina's recruiting me, do I really feel like by the time my time is up at North Carolina to possibly go to the NFL that Bill Belichick will still be there?
I can imagine Bill Belichick giving his media answers when you ask how long he's going to be there, because he's good at those.
Very good at those.
Yeah. Well, if you want to commit, you're committing to what we're building here, and how long I'm here is, what we're building is gonna last. Yeah. He'll probably say something like that, and so it is something to think about, his age and could he come back, and for me, what are you chasing, Coach Saban? Like, what are we just
the ghost of Bear Bryant?
I don't know.
You're on the Mount Rushmore of coaches.
Yeah,
you have nothing else to prove. You have absolutely nothing else to prove. But I think sometimes maybe you can speak to this as a former athlete, is that when you're in something every day and it's your whole life for a large amount of your life, when you take that away, sometimes it's hard to maybe find something that really is going to have you motivated every day. And maybe for Nick Saban, that's something that he's missing.
Pete Carroll. It's a coach that you can say is a great NFL coach and a great college coach. Did he win multiple national championships in college?
I believe so.
And he won a Super Bowl?
Yes, he did.
And went to a Super Bowl?
Yes, he did.
So you think Nick Saban might want to have a little bit of that crossover there? Because, is there room for Pete Carroll on that Mount Rushmore? Or are you just giving it to Saban because of how many national championships he won? So now Saban can golf on that course, and he might golf with Coach Carroll, and he said, hey, man, I'm a little bit older than you, and I got a Super Bowl and a couple national championships, and it might be something to where an NFL return could be a possibility for Saban. I don't know. He just said coaching. He didn't say return to college football. He just said Saban will return to coaching.
That's interesting. I don't see Nick Saban as an NFL head coach, where both college and the NFL are right now, especially at the college level. It's starting to mirror a lot of what the NFL is offering. So maybe there is, some balance as far as attraction on both sides for Nick Saban, where he could look at the NFL and say, I like this, or look at college ball and say, I like that. So again, I'm deep on my stances. I don't think he's coming back. I don't. But that was just
Paul Feinbaum.
That was just an interesting nugget that Greg McElroy threw out there today about Nick Saban. Speaking of Paul Feinbaum, it has been the offseason of hype when it comes to Arch Manning. And that game against Ohio State is not too far away. It's going to be absolutely incredible next month. But there's a lot of people that think that he is no doubt the guy at the position in college football. But Paul Feinbaum had this to say about the pressure and maybe what Arch needs to do this year as the QB1 for the Longhorns.
Arch Manning is not like some kid you just dropped off on his first day of school. I mean, he's got some background, Peter. And Heather just always wants to look past the glamour boy and look to somebody in the Big Ten, or even Kay Klubnik, who I agree with. He could be the best quarterback. But Arch Manning does not have to be the best quarterback because he's on the best team on both sides of the ball.
I hear what he's saying, because when you are a quarterback at an Ohio State, at a Clemson, at a program like Texas, I think your job number one is to be an efficient game manager. Your natural skill set as far as what you can do when things break down and just all those things will happen in time. But when you have the coaching that some of these guys have, when you have the talent that these guys have, it's similar to what we saw from Will Howard last year, right? And I think Will embraced that at a high level where he was saying, I don't need to be Superman. I don't. We got a whole bunch of other superheroes around me to where I can do my part, and this thing is going to fly off at a high level, and it did that in the form of a national championship. So when I hear Feinbaum say that at the back end of that clip, Depot, I understand what he is saying because of the way Texas recruits, because of the way that they, hit up the portal and all of those things. Like, he's going to have his moments in games to where he is going to be asked to put the cape on. But I think if Arch Manning just keeps it down in the middle of the fairway, that Texas offense should be a dangerous one. And that Ohio State and Texas matchup, specifically Ohio State's defense against Texas and that offense, man, is going to be absolutely fun to see. So I understand what Paul Feinbaum is saying in that clip.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting because I believe Coach Sarkeesian and his quarterback development is playing into this, right? And the Manning family was comfortable enough to send him to become, a quarterback up under him and under his tutelage. And for me, I just, he has a reputation for developing quarterbacks at USC and Texas, and then he also worked, closely. I think it was at the Mac Jones years, right? Like at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think about his development and his ability to grow guys. Quinn, he might have went a little low in the draft, but he will be a pro, and he's going to be a pro for a while, and he'll stick. He'll, if anything, Quinn Ewers can pump out a Chase Daniels, Brian Hoyer career for sure.
And which, by the way, for the folks that don't know, Chase Daniels' tremendous career based off of the money that he's made. A lot of millions in Chase Daniels' bank account based off of him just being able to hop from team to team to team and be an important piece of what they do, right, as a backup quarterback. There's a lot of money to be made going down that path, too, in the league.
Exactly. So if not for nothing, coming under his tutelage, he'll stay in the league because Sarkeesian can do that. So you think about what he's going to bring into Ohio Stadium, this quarterback development that he's been able to do, over his career is what has elevated him in this position.
Yeah, no doubt. The sample size for Arch is just so small against opponents that you're supposed to dominate, right? 3 starts for him against UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, and Mississippi State. The athletic ability is real. Like, he ran the rock last year 21 times and scored on 4 of those. And one of those runs was north of 50, 60 yards, I believe. So he has that in his bag. But regardless of who's playing quarterback for either party, come August 30th between Ohio State and Texas, you're going to be talking about inexperience and guys that haven't played high-level football against high-level talent. So it's going to be a shock to the system for both those guys come August 30th on that Saturday, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of the quarterbacks he developed, Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, Mark Sanchez, Jake Locker, Tua, Mac Jones, and Quinn Ewers.
Some dudes.
Yeah, so we got a dude coming in here.
Some dudes that played at a very high level in college football. Coming up, we're going live down to SEC Media today to talk more about Arch Manning, the Texas football program, with Eric Henry, who covers the Longhorns for 24/7 Sports. That's in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text SIZZLE to 369-369. That's SIZZLE to 369-369. SIZZLE to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Beth, you're in charge of ordering the tacos for the meeting today, yeah?
I'm not going to order the tacos.
What?
I'm going to Easy Cater the tacos. With Easy Cater, you can order from a huge variety of restaurants, track expenses, and save time.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you're emailing the meeting notes, right?
No, I'm going to easy mail them. Where's my music?
Sorry, Ben. There's no EasyCater for that.
EasyCater, the easy way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Going to light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline and bring on Eric Henry, covers the Texas football program for 24/7 Sports. Eric, how are you, my man?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here in Atlanta for SEC Media Days. A couple flight delays had me behind schedule, but made it in and happy to be on talking a little football with you guys.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for your time. Prior to us bringing you on, we were talking about Arch Manning and a little bit of the outlook for him this season. But I want to go back to last year and get your thoughts on the Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning dynamic and maybe why we didn't see a lot of Arch last year. Just talk about being around the program last year and that quarterback situation and what that was like.
Well, here's a simple answer, but it would cut this segment really short. Quinn Ewers was a better quarterback. There's that. Right now, to go a little more detail into that, here's the thing, right? I mean, for one, let's just start with Quinn Ewers entering last year as a third-year starter. Guys, he'd really earned the respect of that Texas football team. You know, we spoke with several veterans. Didn't matter who it was. You know, guys like Kelvin Banks, Jade Barron, those all guys who were, in the NFL. They all talked about how Quinn had earned their trust. The guy who was from Ohio State, the transfer, that guy earned their trust. So there's that aspect. Secondly, I think, something that it's so easy to look at Arch Manning, and I'm not thinking Arch is a product of his last name. Arch is a legitimately talented quarterback, legitimately talented prospect. However, I think it's easy to get lost in, kind of the hype of Arch Manning and forget that entering last year, he still was a, redshirt freshman quarterback, very limited experience. And you talked about, or you said you want to talk about last year. Take a look at his first start against Louisiana Monroe. Everyone looks at the 4 touchdowns accounted for against UTSA when Quinn Ewers was hurt, and everyone looks at, the game against Mississippi State. Look at the first start against Louisiana Monroe, where Arch Manning only completed about 53% of his passes. Everything that Steve Sarkeesian wanted to do underneath, kind of the bread and butter of what the offense had been for Quinn Ewers, they weren't able to hit. And Steve did say post-game, part of that was on him, not building in as many easy completions for Arch, but also part of it was just Arch is a guy who at that stage in his career likes to sling it downfield, right? So, I mean, it's a much, a longer answer than probably, this segment allows. But the long and short of it is Quinn Ewers was the better quarterback for that team. Now, Arch Manning certainly, by all accounts, seems to be the best quarterback for this team.
Absolutely. I think the biggest part about this offense and this team, you think about where Ohio State was. We lost to Georgia, with C.J. Stroud, and we were coming back with Kyle McCord, and then you have another year with Will. And so what kind of had been set, though, was guys like Jack Sawyer and Tuimoloau and Emeka Ebukas of the world. They got early experience, right? And they were able to play and make big plays. And then when you came back those following years, we were talking about the quarterback position, but all the quarterback had to do was just steer this car straight. You had all the bells and whistles that you need. I kind of look at Texas like that this year. This talented defense that they got coming back is going to be one of the best in the nation. Colin Simmons, Trey Moore, and the Anthony Hill Jr.'s of the world. And then you got a sophomore receiver that I don't think people in the country are talking about enough, Ryan Wingo, right? And he's poised for a breakout year. You think that Arch Manning would love to be in the Heisman conversation, and I think we want him to be there. But I think Texas has a successful year if he's just pushing the ball downfield, not turning it over, right? Like he doesn't have to have, staggering numbers, but just, hey, manage the game, Arch Manning. You are talented. Are you looking at this Texas team like that on both sides of the ball?
It's interesting you put it that way. And real quick before I tackle that, completely agree on Ryan Wingo. I wrote an article during the offseason, got people riled up, and I'm not shading Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams when I say this, but if Ryan Wingo had the same amount of targets as Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams, he would have put up similar numbers. So Ryan Wingo completely on board there. But to your question about Arch and just steering the ship, for the most part, I would agree, although I will say this. I think the anticipation is that Arch Manning is going to be able to take the next step and maybe do some of the things that Quinn Ewers wasn't able to do sufficiently in the offense, right? You talk about pushing it downfield. Quinn Ewers over his career hit just a little under 1 out of 3, 33% of his passes that traveled north of 20 yards in the air. So the deep ball, it wasn't that Texas couldn't get explosive plays. When you have guys like Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Matt Golden, you can get the ball in their hands. They'll create explosive plays. But pushing it downfield wasn't Quinn Ewers' strength. Now, Arch Manning, in a much more limited sample size, only threw 19 passes that traveled 20 yards or more downfield, completed 42% of them. So there is the hope that Arch can, by virtue of his athleticism and his ability as a deep ball thrower, can elevate the offense. But to your point, with how talented this defense is, and I do believe this is a defense that, can be top 2, top 3 in the nation by the time the season's over. Yes, if he just gets the ball in the hands of his playmakers, Ryan Wingo, Emmett Mosley, Jack Endry, so I think isn't being talked about enough, tight end transfer from Cal and others. I do think, yes, the sentiment that if he just, for lack of a better phrase, just plays point guard, that will work, but I do think there's anticipation that he's going to elevate this offense, specifically with his athleticism and the deep ball.
We're talking all things Texas football with Eric Henry, who does a tremendous job covering the Longhorns football program for 24/7 Sports right here on The Fan. Eric, I want to ask you about Steve Sarkeesian and just being around him as a head coach. Up here at Ryan Day, he's dealing with the pressure of figuring out, the rivalry game against Michigan, but also, saying, guys, I just won a national championship, right? So it's an odd feel up here right now, I think, for some Buckeye fans. But down there in Austin, Steve Sarkeesian, the fan base, how are they feeling about what he's built and the direction of this program and where it's headed?
Yeah, listen, this is my third season covering Texas football, and I'll tell you right now, Longhorn Nation, they haven't been, they couldn't be any more in love with a head coach as they have been with Steve Sarkeesian. Before I get to kind of the on-the-field stuff and the way he built the program, I think one of the things Steve's done, he kind of came out and spoke about it, did the interview with Third and Longhorn with some former Texas players talking about, prior to taking the job, he thought Austin was just a small college town, right? Which I do think it's a little bit funny for a guy who's come from Tuscaloosa to think that Austin's a small
it's a
college
city,
town. But I get it. I get it. He's from L.A., so, 95% of the cities in America are small to him. I get it. But the point I'm making is he's really taken to Austin. He's taken to Texas. He's taken to being the head football coach at Texas, embracing all the things that come with that. Kissing babies, shaking hands, making all the appearances. It's kind of funny, guys. The only tell, if you're around Steve, that he is a Californian is when he refers to the local highways, he'll say the 35, which, of course, is a California thing, and Texans will call him out on that. But outside of that, he's just really embraced the role of being Texas football coach. Now, in terms of how he's built the program, there's no two ways to put it, and I'm no SEC elitist. However, I do think he's built this program not just like an SEC team, because, quite frankly, Mississippi State and Vandy are SEC teams. He's built it like the elite of SEC teams, like his mentor in Nick Saban, and doing things like that, getting the talent in the trenches, developing talent. That's something that I don't think, quite frankly, Steve and the staff get enough credit for, is the fact that they've been able to not only go out and get guys via the transfer portal, via NIL, et cetera, but also develop talent. That's been huge, and I think it's played a major part in why they've had success over the past 3 years.
Absolutely. For me growing up, Texas was all the allure, right? The Ricky Williams, the smoke visors. I still remember where I was sitting on my couch watching Vince Young, extend that ball off into the corner. And then by my freshman year, the Quan Cosby dive into the end zone and the Fiesta Bowl playing against Colt McCoy and those guys, and then them going into the national championship. It's good to see Texas back into the picture in the SEC in a traditional way. I wanted to ask you a little bit about the defensive side of the ball and what Ohio State should expect from our perspective with our first-year starting quarterback. He has to go against potentially one of the best defenses in the nation. And what can we expect to get from them in the game one?
Yeah, and like I said, I don't consider myself to be an SEC elitist. I'm also not a Texas homer. I didn't go to UT. I'm not Texan born, but I'm just calling it like I see it when I say this. I genuinely think this can be, like I said, top 2, top 3, arguably the best defense in the nation, because you have an All-American at each level of defense. Let's just start, on the defensive line. Colin Simmons at edge. I think you're talking about a guy who, and I don't say this to be hyperbolic, the type of year he wants to have, and the type of year that he's capable of having this year. I think you're talking about the Jadeveon Clowneys of the world, Julius Peppers of the world in terms of a college game, that type of impact, right? So you have him. You go to linebacker. You have, in my opinion, the best linebacker in the nation, and Anthony Hill Jr. And then, of course, you go to the secondary and you get someone who doesn't get enough love, maybe because he got that walk-on tag initially, but has done nothing but develop in Michael Taft at safety. So when you have an All-American candidate at all three levels, I think that certainly helps things. But I'll give you a couple of names to keep an eye on that, the average fan probably won't look at. One, Malik Muhammad at cornerback. He's the guy that they're expecting to step in and be that Jayden Barron type. Not saying he's going to win the Thorpe Award, but they expect him to be a number one corner. At linebacker, Leongo Lafau plays plays alongside Anthony Hill Jr. He's someone who in coverage, they love some of the things he can do in coverage, which allows Anthony Hill to go do some other things. And then on that defensive line, keep an eye on Trey Moore, UTSA transfer, who's going to be a hybrid edge/stand-up linebacker. They're expecting big things from him. He was a former American Athletic Defensive Player of the Year with UTSA 2 years ago.
Eric, real quick before we let you go in our last minute, there's so much focus on the first game of the year, and rightfully so, with those two brands getting after each other. But up and down their schedule, what was another pocket of the schedule or intriguing game for you that jumped off the screen when you first looked at it?
Yeah, I'll answer both of those real quick. There's a stretch in Texas' schedule where they're away from Austin. And forgive me, I don't have it off the top of my head. I believe it's that stretch going into October, starting with UF, where they're away from Austin for a month. That's going to be super interesting to see how that plays out. And then the game that I feel a lot of people aren't keeping as much of an eye on, you probably should, is that UF game. Because DJ Lagway, he got a little taste of it last year, but he appears to have all the potential, all the pieces. If Billy Napier has Florida, going, and you have to go to the swamp, that's going to be a challenge.
No doubt. He does a great job covering the Texas football program over at 24/7 Sports. He is Eric Henry. Buckeye fans, make sure you follow him on social media to keep on everything on Texas' side of things leading into that massive Game 1 matchup here at the end of next month. Eric, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anytime, fellas.
Eric was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. When we come back, we'll round out the first hour of our Monday show, as we always do, with Party Like a Rock Star. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and neither suggested surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine, using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
Donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
And we have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
We work to help your neighbors, the planet, and you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating. Not like me singing loudly in the shower frustrating. Real life aggravation. They might not return your call. The workmanship is sloppy. Maybe there's just general indifference about helping you. Frustrating sometimes doesn't even describe it. That's why I want to tell you about my new friends at Victor's Home Solutions. Victor's installs the highest quality roofs and windows you can buy, and they'll take those negative experiences you've had and turn them on their head. You'll experience prompt follow-up service, on-time appointments, and their teams are helpful, professional, and courteous. Their service and installation crews always go above and beyond because they know how much your home means to you. They offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install, and their windows come fully equipped with lifetime warranties. So call 1-866-VICTORS or go to victors.com. Get your free 21-point roof and window inspection. Experience their 5-star customer service and see why they have a 4.9 Google rating. Again, that's 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
It's hot out. Stay in the house and cool yourself with the sweet sounds of The Fan. You can watch on YouTube or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan. It's the equivalent of putting ice cubes down your pants. All right! The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
All right, let's get after it, Depot. DeVere Posey, former Buckeye wide receiver, in the house today for AR. I'll lead this thing off, and I will start in the world of baseball because, to me, still, one of the coolest things you could watch an individual player do in baseball is hit for the cycle. I'm here for it every time I see it. And a man that did that this weekend was Byron Buxton for the Minnesota Twins. A lot of Guardian fans, I'm sure you're well aware of who this dude is. He is one of those players to where more times than not, unfortunately for him, it seems like he's dealing with an injury. However, when this dude is right, he is an MVP type of talent. And this weekend, he put it all together, hit for the cycle, became the first player in Minnesota Twins history at Target Field, their new stadium, to hit for the cycle, and just the 12th player in the history of the Twins organization to hit for the cycle. He ranks 5th in the American League in home runs with 21. He's got power. He's got speed. He plays a great center field as well. And so he hit that home run in the 7th inning over center field on an 0-2 curveball, man. I'm telling you, this dude is absolutely legit. They've got a couple guys on this Twins roster that are like this. Royce Lewis, Byron Buxton, where if they were healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if they had an MVP trophy in their man cave. But this weekend, Byron Buxton hitting for the cycle was partying like a Roth star. He's in the home run derby tonight, I believe. And I think this is the second or third time he has been named an all-star. So credit to him for staying healthy, being available. And when he is available, you see what you can get from him. Byron Buxton for the Minnesota Twins, Depot, partying like a Roth star.
Gotcha. My raw star today, just over the weekend, we kind of referenced him earlier in the show, Jannik Sinner. You talk about the first Italian champion, singles champion at the tournament, right? This is his first Wimbledon win. He defeats Alcaraz, someone who has a lifetime better career over him. The guy has arrived. We have a three-headed monster with Alcaraz, Spanish, right? And then we have Sinner, Italian, and we have our guy, Ben Shelton, American. So tennis is in good hands.
Yeah.
The way that he plays, the way that he serves, he can just dominate a match. I'm becoming a tennis fan.
I can tell.
I'm not like...
You're going to get out there now.
Here's the thing. I got this abductor. It ain't abducting. As at the speed that the lateral movement needs. So either I go and I might lose a groin.
Yeah.
But I am interested.
How about this? Maybe we start with pickleball and work our way up. How you feel about that?
I do. The only thing about me and pickleball is if I'm at a pickle club, I'm sorry, old ladies and older males. This competition is for everybody.
Oh, you guys are getting L's. So, everybody, no matter who it is. I'm that way too, no matter what I'm doing, no matter who I'm playing against. I'm trying to win. We can be friends out there.
Than you think they are.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I know they're coming for me.
Yeah.
So I'm all about the competition. And here's the thing, TLC, I'm coachable. Man. I want to learn. So, yeah, I am getting the bug.
And it's a team sport. You can get the lady out there with you.
Yep.
You can do that instead of the Chicago Marathon.
There it is. I might be ready this year, though. I might be ready.
Depot's in game shape right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
If you're not watching on YouTube, Depot over the last few months has really been locked in.
I didn't see you at that 9.71K.
No. I mean, honestly, I think we had a mile. I think Tyvis had a 6-minute mile.
7.5.
7. Yeah.
He looked like he was hurting too. Mm-hmm. It was hot that day though. I'll give him an out.
It wasn't enough distance for me.
Oh my god!
It was too small.
Oh, you need more.
Yeah, it was okay. Small. It wasn't enough distance.
And about 20 miles short for what you're looking for.
I mean, man, I've always been a runner, man. So I'm getting back into it. So I am. If I do get the call for the Chicago Marathon this year, I will answer it.
Okay.
And I will answer it this year.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Second candidate for me. I mentioned I was in Indy this weekend for the Fever game. And Caitlin Clark, she's the name on the marquee, right? I get it, right?
Yes, sir.
But Kelsey Mitchell, the former Buckeye,
still a killer,
needs to have her name on the marquee as well.
Still a killer.
Because I'm here to tell you, Kelsey Mitchell has been balling. Friday night against Atlanta, she put up 25 points on 56% shooting from the floor. And then she followed that up yesterday on a game on national TV with a 20.4 rebound, 3 assist, no turnover game on 67% shooting from the floor. She, that being Kelsey Mitchell, leads the Indiana Fever in scoring with 19 points a game. She ranks 5th in the WNBA in points per game. She's a 3-time All-Star. She's been quietly doing it, right? The Indiana Fever, before Aaliyah Boston got there and before Caitlin Clark got there, it wasn't a lot to write home about. But she's been a positive constant for that franchise. And I just wanted to give her some love today because a lot of the attention goes to CC, and I know why, right? Because of what she does. But when you look at the success of the Indiana Fever, the former Buckeye and Kelsey Mitchell is a large part of why they are a good team and will be a good team for years to come. So Friday night, Sunday afternoon, Kelsey Mitchell's been balling, 3-time All-Star, doing it again over there in Indy. She's been partying like a rock star.
Man, when it comes to Kelsey Mitchell, I'm in awe, man. I've known her and her family since she was in a stroller. Her and her twin sister. She has a set of twin brothers that were older, that were like 4 years younger than us. And so Coach Mitchell, her father, is a legendary Cincinnati coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's coached a lot of guys and saved a lot of lives with being a father-like influence, at Taft High School. Mm-hmm. And so for her to be where she is in her career and to be playing the way that she's playing, man, it is so great to see. Just because she's a Cincinnatian, I've known her and her family for forever, and she's a Buckeye. And honestly, in our generation, women basketball players in Ohio, she's probably the GOAT, man. She is up there in terms of who she is, being an Ohio and hooper for sure.
Yeah, she's great. She really is. And she's electric in person, too. Like, just real quick with the ball in her hands, and she's just a bucket getter.
Comes from a basketball family, man.
I got one more, you have one more.
Go ahead. Yes, all you.
Last one for me. I see the vision, Dallas. Cooper Flagg. Second Summer League game. All I needed to see. All they needed to see. Had a bit of a clunker in that first one last week against Bronny James and the Lakers. He got back in the lab right away, figured it out. Second Summer League game for Cooper Flagg. He dropped 31. And Dallas said, okay, you're done, Rook. Yep. Like, this is all you just see everything. Depot, he's got the size, he's got the feel, he's got the defensive ability. That's why he was the number 1 overall pick. I think he's going to fit in very well in that Dallas situation. They're not going to be asking a ton from him.
Who's he?
And you're number 1?
Who's his comp for you?
That's a great question. I see like a Blake Griffin with more offensive ability out of the gate.
Yeah.
Meaning size, athletic ability, just that he didn't have the bounce that Blake had. Not a lot of dudes do. But I think with where he works kind of in that paint area, that mid-range area, I think he could do a lot of damage. So a little bit of Blake Griffin to me, just a guy off the top of my head.
You know who he reminds me? He gives me Antoine Jameson / I'm trying to. It's a body size that can move, that's athletic, that can jump, that can also play defense and do everything for you. But I would say like he's like an Antoine Jameson kind of guy, man.
Good career.
It'd be a good career.
Good career.
Good career, yeah.
But for him right now, you got Anthony Davis, you got Gafford, you got some big bros you can rely on for him. But I just thought he looked really impressive in that second Summer League game and dominated with 31 points. Coming up at the top of the hour, executives and scouts around the NFL have ranked what they believe are the 10 best quarterbacks in the National Football League. Did they get it right? We'll talk about it next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.44%, APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. Give Baths R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Beth, you're in charge of ordering the tacos for the meeting today, yeah?
I'm not going to order the tacos.
What?
I'm going to Easy Cater the tacos. With Easy Cater, you can order from a huge variety of restaurants, track expenses, and save time.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you're emailing the meeting notes, right?
No, I'm going to easy mail them. Where's my music?
Sorry, Ben. There's no Easy Cater for that.
Easy Cater, the easy way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Hey, is that knee, shoulder, hip, that pain in any of your joints not getting better? You're stuck in this cycle where you keep going back to the doctor. They recommend steroid shots. Maybe they recommend surgery, rehab, and all of those things are not working for you. Before you go down the road of the surgery, you'll want to listen to this. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I want to tell you something that helped me a ton, and it'll help a lot of other people get their lives back as well. And this is no more meds and not going under the knife. I'm talking about my friends at QC Kinetics, Real Regenerative Medicine. They help your body heal itself. After years of playing professional football, I was beat up. My dad was beat up. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to have any more surgery. So I went to my friends at QC Kinetics, and they took a look at it, and they said, hey, we can help you with your knee. It's not going to be an overnight fix, but they've got protocols and procedures to help get you well without going under the knife. So here's what you do. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices all over Columbus.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Reds and Guardians both made it to the All-Star break, picking up wins over the weekend. They're now both off with the All-Star Week festivities beginning tonight in Atlanta with the Home Run Derby. Seattle Mariners catcher Kyle Raleigh is the favorite to take home the Home Run Derby title. With Cincinnati's win yesterday over the Colorado Rockies, it became career win number 2,000 for manager Terry Francona. He became the 13th manager in MLB history to reach the 2,000 win mark. The Cleveland Cavaliers announced today that team president Kobe Altman has agreed to a contract extension that goes through 2030. The Cavs went 64-18 last season and earned the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And the NBA Summer League continues tonight in Las Vegas with 7 games, including the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Charlotte Hornets, and they will be without number 1 overall pick Cooper Flagg, as he's been shut down for the remainder of the Summer League. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
Welcome back in. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk NFL draft, some of the top prospects we'll be watching around the college football landscape this year with Joe DeLeon. Covers the NFL draft and college football for A to Z Sports. 2:30, we'll talk all things Buckeyes with our guy Stephen Means from Cleveland.com. You know, ESPN over the last week or two, Depot, they've been rolling out these top 10 lists for each position, right? We've had like the pass rushers, the tight ends, wide receivers, and coaches, executives, and scouts around the league have been polled by ESPN to cook up these top 10s for us. And today, the quarterback list dropped, and I could not wait to see this one because it's always interesting to see year in and year out what the league thinks about where the quarterback position is and who is the top dog and who is the guy that maybe is in the top 10 that pushed a guy out that was in the top 10 a year ago and all that stuff. So I enjoy this article every year that it drops. How would you like to approach this? Do you want me to start from 10 to 1, 1 down to 10? How do you want to break this thing down, Depot? You want to start from the top to the bottom?
I know Patrick Mahomes is 1.
Okay, so let's start there.
Yeah.
Should he still be number 1 on this list in our year 2025?
Yes.
Okay.
The Super Bowl goes through Arrowhead.
On the AFC side of things, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Here's where I'm at with this. I think it's okay if we're at a point right now if he's not the number 1 guy on this list.
Okay, Matty Ice.
Think it's okay for us to have that. I'm not saying you got to bounce him out of the top 5. I'm not saying you even got to bounce him out of the top 3. But if there were a year for us to look at who is the best quarterback in the league, not named Pat Mahomes, I think it could have been this year, and I would have been good with Josh Allen or Lamar being that guy.
It's culturally inappropriate. It's just culturally inappropriate.
Mahomes has not been the best quarterback in the league the last 2 years, to me. The Chiefs have been awesome. The Chiefs have been awesome.
In the Super Bowl?
Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes did.
In the year before that?
It was Patrick Mahomes, and I cannot forget the team now.
But the thing about...
Brock Purdy?
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And they had won they were trying to win back-to-backs.
This isn't a career achievement thing.
This is not that. This isn't. But But here's the thing. The guy who's the scoring champion is not the best player in the league. It's just he's not. It's just I hear you, and I love L. Jack. I love Mr. Jackson, and I love Mr. Allen, right? And shout out Mr. Allen for putting a ring on it, right?
Talking Haley Steinfeld.
Had a great summer.
Yes, he did.
Right after MVP and got his life MVP.
Endorsements all over the place. The man is living well.
He's winning.
He's living well.
And so I love those guys.
Yeah.
But when those guys lay down at night, Joe Burrow included, there's only one person, two people that can say, I beat Pat Mahomes for the chip. And that's Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady. Okay? These other guys have nightmares about 1-5. Nightmares. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, Matty. I don't care about stats. He is. Those guys can't beat him.
I would be with you if if this wasn't 2 years in a row
that he went to the Super Bowl.
And I don't think that was on the back of Pat Mahomes. I don't. I think their defense has been lights out for 2 years and has provided them a very, very safe floor. Again, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm just saying if there were a year for number one to be somebody else besides Patrick Mahomes, I would have been okay if this were the year. What you're talking about, the big picture stuff, where they've been, maybe the fear that he's infused to not only guys on the AFC side, but the league, that's real. But just quarterback play for me the last 2 years, he hasn't been number one.
I think you put Patrick Mahomes in purple and black, and you put him in royal blue and red, those teams go to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't with the way those rosters are constructed.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a far-fetched thing to say. To your point,
let's hear this list.
Coaches, executives, and scouts have Pat Mahomes as number one. I'll go 1 to 10 real quick, and then we can react to whatever you want to get into. Pat Mahomes is 1. Josh Allen is 2. Joe Burrow is 3. Lamar Jackson 4. Jayden Daniels rounds out your top 5. 6 to 10 is Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, and Baker Mayfield.
Okay,
finds his way into the top 10. Go ahead.
I'm going to answer this without anger. For clarity, you didn't mention Mr. Stroud?
I did not. Bit of a down year last year. I think some of that is due to no Diggs. Nico Collins missed some time last year. And so you took some weapons away from a guy that we know is talented. I'm not surprised the productivity slipped just a little bit. But this time last year, C.J. Stroud was the crown jewel. He was the new kid on the block that got a lot of love and absolutely earned that love based off of what we saw from him on the field. But that is your top 10. And Jayden Daniels at 5, I'm sorry, it's too rich. Sorry.
It's too rich.
I don't think you can, in any sport.
It's too high.
After 1 year in that league.
Maybe 10.
Be a top 5 guy.
Yeah, maybe 10.
Like, for me, that's a little too spicy. And I know Damian Woody was on ESPN on Get Up, and he had this to say about Jayden Daniels being slotted in at 5.
Damian Woody, do you agree with Jayden Daniels, a second-year quarterback already as the 5th best and the top quarterback in the NFC?
You're damn right I do. Listen, I grew up a Washington fan. I've seen this organization inept for over 2 decades. That young man steps foot in the building, and that group was 1 game away from the Super Bowl. That is not a fluke, my friend. It is not a fluke. This man is uber talented. Not only is he a great athlete, he's calm, he's collected, he processes well, he's accurate, he plays with timing and rhythm. Like, he has all those things. And as this franchise continues to build this thing out, man, listen, next year we could be talking about a guy in the top 3.
The dude is special. Everything he's saying about him football-wise makes all the sense in the world. I can't deny it. I see where this thing is headed. But you brought up C.J. Stroud. And C.J. Stroud has so much positive momentum coming out of his rookie year. And then you get to your second year in the league, and whether it's injuries or defensive coordinators figuring out some of these things and making you play with your left hand, that you're going to have some struggle. So him having this leap into the top 5 to me is just a little too rich for my blood, Depot.
It's wild. Because, I mean, you could make the same argument for CJ. I mean, didn't they go to the AFC Championship? No. They had a wild card and they lost in Kansas City. So one game before Jayden Daniels' team lost, he will struggle this year, just due in part to the fact that you can surprise teams with your ability as a quarterback.
Yeah.
We can study for you the next year. You make adjustments and get better. Mm-hmm. You balance out your third year.
Yeah.
And that's just the harsh reality of sophomore slumps, is just people can study you. There's film. There is a set of 10+ games to where I can see your bad habits and your good habits. And I'm going to attack the bad ones until you get better. Now, if you were able to fix them between, rookie year and sophomore year where nobody's able to expose them, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But Jayden Daniels does have a secret weapon. I don't know if you know about
the legs.
Well, no, he prepares with AI and virtual reality. And the thing I do love about him is he's taking a leap. It's where he wears VR and he'll go through multiple situations. Will this play versus this look, this look, this look, this look, this look, and he'll get it right. And that's how he studies. And so he's getting those mental reps. So I mean, he could be a truly special player, man.
I'll say this too. I think based off of his skill set, he's always going to provide for Washington a safe floor offensively, because they can go to at any point in time, hey, Jayden, we're going to drop these quarterback runs that can do damage to the defense. And I think when you're starting there, your ceiling is going to be really high when you start to figure out all the other things like you're talking about, where the game mentally for him will slow down. And so he is a scary dude at that position. Just top 5 for me is crazy. After just 1 year in the NFL. I like what they've done this offseason, though. You bring in Deebo Samuel. You bring in Laramie Tunsil to protect him, a veteran left tackle now, and it doesn't have to be all on the shoulders of Terry McLaurin. They got to get that contract situation figured out for Scary Terry, which I think that they will. But for Jayden Daniels, now it's the expectations now are set. I don't think people are looking at Washington and saying, year in and year out, you got to get to the NFC title game. That would be ridiculous. But when you come out of the gate hot, this is what happened to Pat Mahomes, too. You set that bar very high, and when you fall short of that, some people may, like me when it comes to Mahomes, maybe looking at you and saying, okay, hey, let's pick it up a little bit and get back to where you were before. So, yeah, Jayden Daniels, already impressive. We've seen it with our own eyes. But top 5 in the league, according to coaches, executives, and scouts. You brought up C.J. Stroud. Dan Orlovsky weighed in on C.J. Stroud and Jayden Daniels. So we'll get into that next. And I want to ask you about Lamar Jackson being at 4. Is that too low? Does he need to be higher? We'll get into that after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Double your savings with Logan Services. Save up to $3,200 on a qualifying air conditioning and heating system, and ask about tax credits up to $3,200. Call for your free estimate now. Logan Services.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See? We didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient, and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall from my friends at Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. 2 years ago, I was actually experiencing hip pain for the first time in my life, and I knew I needed the best. So I chose Orthopedic One for my physical therapy needs. And in a matter of weeks, I was rotating that golf swing better than before, and I was the longest hitter in my group again. So be like me and trust Orthopedic One and stay at the top of your game. Several convenient locations across Central Ohio. To find a physician or location near you, just go to orthopedic1.com.
Hey, look, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
You know what I love the most about your store?
What's that, common man?
The way you treat people. You get to know your customers. That's why they keep coming back. No sleazeballs around. Just good, clean boys and girls selling jewelry.
Stop in and see the difference for yourself.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. It's where Columbus gets engaged. Tell them Common Man sent you.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see. Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3, podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus. And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
I love my public school. My teachers are awesome. And everyone who works here makes sure I have what I need to learn and be my best. My classmates and I need your support too. Please stand with the Ohio Education Association to ask for the fully funded public schools every kid deserves.
Ohio's public schools are the heart of our communities. They're safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive.
Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of showers and thunderstorms today will be a lot more spread out than this morning. Otherwise, expect skies to be mostly to partly cloudy with our afternoon highs in the upper 80s. For tonight, mostly clear skies overnight, lows down right around 70. And then for tomorrow, we'll see chances of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, more isolated in nature. Otherwise, skies will be mostly sunny with our highs near 90. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Devere Posey in the house today, filling in for AR. Folks, thanks for joining us. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Bottom of the hour, Joe DeLeon, A to Z Sports, will join us to talk all things NFL drafts, from the top prospects around college football we will be watching. You know, we've been reacting to ESPN's top 10 quarterback list going into the 2025 season. You know, during the break, we were talking about the quarterback series that's currently airing on Netflix. I don't know how much you tapped into that, Depot, if you have or have not yet, but it's a good watch, especially this year with Joe Burrow being on that thing. You got Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff, and just the behind the scenes grind that these guys go through, and just the lifestyle. It's cool to see. And like, that's what I always say, man, us as fans right now, just the access that we have to just that world that was not there 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, to where now we just have so many lanes to go down to just find out like who these guys are as athletes and players. Is cool. So if you're looking, for a little bit of a football itch as a football fan right now, middle of July, check out if you have Netflix Quarterback. It's a good series, and I think this may be the second or third season that they've done of the show. But yeah, when you got Joey B in the mix on this one, it's good stuff. I suggest you guys tap in.
I think it's the third one.
Okay.
They did a quarterback, then they did wide receiver.
Yes, they did.
And then they went back to quarterback. Yeah. Got a new
because Mahomes was on the
Mahomes
the
and
first
Kirk
season.
Cousins.
Yes.
Super funny. they had a scene with Kirk Cousins getting dressed.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He's hilarious. And look, he's caught in a weird spot
like
right
a 90s TV
he
show
really
dad.
is just like a dad, man, at the end of the day. Like, just the way he dresses, he don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Give me a pair of khaki shorts and a polo and some flip-flops, and I'm good.
I'm good. I'm in the game, yeah.
And I'm good. And so, yeah, man, that's a fun watch. But, yeah, if you're just now hopping on, ESPN dropped their top 10 quarterback list for the 2025 season. Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 2, Joe Burrow 3, Lamar Jackson 4, followed up by Jayden Daniels at 5, and then some vets on the back end of this thing with Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, and Baker Mayfield. Credit to Baker Mayfield.
Grinded to get back in that top 10.
This guy figured it out.
Yep.
Had to go to a couple different spots, right, in Carolina and L.A., and then...
Even in college, he's just kind of who he is.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so now you look at Tampa, and those were very, very big shoes to fill.
Yep.
Because you're following the GOAT. You're following Tom Brady, and Tom Brady goes down to Tampa. He delivers a Lombardi, and then it's like, okay, where's his franchise going? And Baker said, I'll sign up for this. I'll sign up for this. And the last couple of seasons, man, the dude has been playing at a very, very high level.
I mean, if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, the Mike Evans era, Levante David era probably has to be one of your favorite eras in the now, you go back to those Derek Brooke, Warren Sapp times. Those were special.
Yeah.
But they didn't really have, like, that guy at quarterback. Brad Johnson was kind of
just a guy.
He had his moments. He was Brad Johnson, right?
Yeah.
So it's like to have Tom Brady, to have the guys that they had, like it's just like a new generation of Buccaneers, and then you have a guy like Baker be able to usher you in, and he's kind of pissed off at how his career is gone, and he still has stuff to prove. So, I mean, this offense can be electric this year. Down there in Tampa, and man, hats off to Baker. You got to just like a guy who's just a grinder. I mean, he was in Carolina doing scout team, and now you're in the top 10 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah,
going to the playoffs annually.
And I'm fully with you on what their offense could be this season, right? With the addition of Emeka going down there,
and
then that running back room that they have, and the Tristan Wirfs injury is tough.
Yep.
They're all pro left tackle. He's going to miss some time. But if they could find a way to, patch that up for a little bit of time, that offense should be high and flying.
He's a freak athlete. He'll get out.
Tristan Wirfs, he's different. He's different. And they have the benefit of chemistry.
Yes.
Like the names
offensive
that we're
line.
talking about, that offensive line unit, the playmakers have now been playing together for the last couple of years, and they've gone to the postseason. So, it's good to see Baker in that top 10 because the dude earned it. He really has earned it with his play the last couple of seasons. But we wanted to talk about C.J. Stroud and where he is at his career, because last year, I think if you were to project it out the next couple of years, I think a lot of us would say C.J. Stroud will be in a top 10 list for everybody when it comes to the quarterback position based off what we saw from the dude in year one and how electric he was hitting the ground running in Houston. He does not make the top 10 list this year, and I know Dan Orlovsky for ESPN has some things to say about C.J. and maybe even some Jayden Daniels stuff in here as well.
Be cautious. Okay, so 2 years ago, CJ had a remarkable season, and everyone's like, CJ's the next Joe Burrow type of thing. And there's a lot of reasons why the season wasn't as stellar in totality. Last year, Jayden was absolutely insane. 6 wins trailing in the fourth quarter. That's not that common. You can't bank on that year after year after year. The best fourth down team in football outside of Philadelphia. I think they were like 23 at 28 on fourth downs. Something that's more than likely just not that common. So 2 years ago, it was third down for CJ. He was so ridiculous on third down that it covered up a lot of flaws. He was so ridiculous last year, Jayden Daniels, in the fourth quarter and on fourth down, that I do think it covered up a little bit of some of the deficiencies or flaws. And so if that's not corrected, you're not banking on going 80+% on fourth down again. So yes, the 5th ranking, absolutely warranted, but there is a reality where they are going to have to play better football to make sure that he doesn't always have to put on the hero cape or do some of the jaw-dropping stuff. That's all I'm going to say.
In that clip, Dan Orlovsky mentioned how good CJ was in 2023 on third down. That year, his touchdown to interception ratio on third down was 9-1. And so when it was money time, CJ was efficient, knew where he needed to go with the ball, and got it done at a clean clip. I like what they've done this all season, bringing in some reinforcements in that wide receiver room. You double dip on a couple kids from Iowa State. We know Nico now is no doubt stamped as one of the most dominant wide receiver ones in the league. When you get past Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, like Nico Collins, I think, is in that conversation for where the wide receiver position is headed and guys that are holding it down for their teams at number one. But for CJ, I think this is actually good because this is going to light a fire under him this all season. He already had that, I'm sure. But now when these things are out there and you got a new kid on the block leaping you in perception right now, because that's really all it is, CJ's going to be locked in, man. I can't wait to see what he can do.
I think for CJ, what he needs to do, and this might sound silly, but I'll explain it. He has to get faster. I'll be honest, and I've seen CJ's progression over time. Absolutely love him as a person and love him as a kid. But CJ Sillin, for me in college, one of his best games obviously was
the Georgia game.
Yeah, but the Rose Bowl game was
prior
crazy.
to that.
Yeah, Rose Bowl game was crazy. Yeah. I just enjoy that game. But the Georgia game for him as a player, what I got to see him, I was in the end zone where they missed the kick. I just remember he got out the pocket left side on Ohio State's bench, and he when somebody's coming after your feet, and he high stepped, looked, put the ball up and took off. Mm-hmm. And those knees were high. You're like, oh, this dude can really run. Mm-hmm. And I think you look at what happened to him. He was sacked 52 times last year, second most in the NFL, right? And what happens over time, if you're taking 38 sacks over 15 games, but you're throwing 23 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, you can absolutely play in this league. Mm-hmm. And you can absolutely just be he's going to be a top 10 quarterback is what I'm trying to say. But when Joe Burrow last year took a step with his body, put on weight, and he became who you remember the year he had last year. He was just, they were behind. They were just playing catch up all year, but the numbers were crazy. And just him as a player just looked good. He looked strong. I think CJ, by adding being more elusive and getting a bit faster, having his speed translate in the program, because I know he's a fast guy, with a little bit more of that escapability, I do think he's a better quarterback than Jayden Daniels.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. If he gets faster,
just
he can move around.
Complete body of work. If he adds that, hey, I'm moving the chains with my legs too on third down.
Are you serious?
I may not be the quarterback that can take it 60 yards to the house in the blink of an eye like Jayden can. But
just Patrick Mahomes,
there you go. That's exactly where I was going to go. Because Pat Mahomes, it drives you nuts when you're
just get out of there.
When your team is trying to get to Pat Mahomes and you can't get to him. And he picks up that 4 or 5 yards there and escapes the edge. That's what you're talking about.
I would say Jayden Daniels is more Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
CJ Stroud needs to go more into Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Right. Because he put it on display, like you said, in that Georgia game. So it's in there.
It's in there.
It's just for a guy that I think Depot hasn't had to do that his entire career.
Well, he has to do it at the pro level. Period. He has to have a Georgia-type game at the pro level.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that fun matchup in week 1 for CJ because they're taking on the L.A. Rams. And Jared Verse, that defensive lineman.
He's from L.A. too.
He is he's Cali guy as well. And so that'll be fun to see there. I think Houston's in a good spot. I like where they're at because now they're kind of being slept on just a little bit, right? The division to me isn't too spooky. Their defense should be really good this season when you look at DeMeco Ryans leading the charge. And then on offense, I think there's going to be enough structure around him to where CJ isn't going to have to be Superman. I cannot wait to see what the Mixon-Nick Chubb dynamic is like in that backfield. That is going to be fun to see there. But CJ not in the top 10 this year. After the year that he had, I think that makes some sense. But between Jayden Daniels, between C.J. Stroud, some of these other young quarterbacks in the league, just the future is very, very bright, and C.J. is going to be a key part of that. Speaking of the future, we're going to be talking about a lot of the top prospects in next year's NFL draft with Joe DeLeon from A to Z Sports in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome.
You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has deals that are red hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for only $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or you can take on any road in the all-new 25 Honda Passport RTL. Lease it now for $449 a month or 3.99% APR. Summer's here. Dive into the savings at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Like trying to snap a picture of Bigfoot. Nobody has ever witnessed Maddie eating a carb. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. DeVere Posey in the house today for AR. Efforting our guy Joe DeLeon from A to Z Sports Talk NFL Draft. You know, Justin Herbert's 7th on this list, and he's an interesting guy for me, Depot, because when you talk about like quarterbacks that you build in the lab with just like a rocket arm and the frame and all that's Justin Herbert. I think he's had some lean years. I think some of that has been the coaching with Staley, and that tenure did not go very well. And you look at some of the playmakers getting older with Keenan Allen and all that stuff going on. But I think when you look at the guys around the league, right, you look at a Jalen Hurts, a Goff, and we talked about, you know, C.J. Stroud and Jayden Daniels, but more importantly, the top 4 guys on Lamar, Joe, Josh, and Pat. Those guys have accomplished a lot, whether it's team goals, individual goals. We're waiting for that dominant run from Justin Herbert out there in L.A. But with Harbaugh, you know, usually there's some good things that follows, right? You bring in a new piece in Najee Harris. Ladd McConkey had himself a very good year as a rookie. We're curious to see if the Chargers now with Harbaugh and the weapons that they have on offense and defense now can close the gap on Kansas City. Because, you know, individually, the guy has all the talent I think you could ask for, because you talk about that rushing ability. He has that. And he's got a cannon of an arm, too. He's just got to be more of a well-rounded output from not just him, but the Chargers franchise as a whole.
Yeah, I think he's in one of those positions to where we enjoy his play style, but you got to put yourself in those primetime games.
Yeah.
These games have to be meaningful, right?
And get it done.
And you are in the shadows. And you share a division with the best quarterback in the league, and it's very tough for you to establish yourself as a player. And it's like you really don't know how good you are because the measurables are off. Yeah. But you know, you look at him and Bo Nix and this AFC and Patrick Mahomes and whatever the Raiders do long term quarterback wise, but. He's positioned to be a player out there for a long time in AFC West.
I agree. We're going to light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bring on our guy, Joe DeLeon, does an awesome job covering the NFL, college football, NFL draft over at A to Z Sports. Joe, how you doing, my man?
Doing pretty good. Trying to keep up with all the craziness that's already coming out today from SEC Media Days. I wouldn't have put on my bingo card that there'd be rumors of Nick Saban wanting to come back to college football. That was not expected.
Yeah, I know, man. We talked about it earlier with I think Greg McElroy threw that out there, and obviously he's well connected to Nick Saban, so maybe that's a direct source from him. Who knows? But yeah, that caught us by surprise as well. We had a guest on that covers Texas, and Eric Henry, earlier live from SEC Media Days, and we were talking about just Arch Manning and what went into last year with both he and Quinn, and maybe why we didn't see Arch as much. But, you know, there's a lot of people, Joe, that have really fallen in love with the potential of Arch Manning and what he can do. We'll get a up-close and personal look from him and that team here next month when they take on Ohio State. But when you look at his potential, Joe, and you look at the skill set, that he has. Just talk about the outlook for Arch Manning and what he may be able to provide.
Yeah, he's obviously like a really controversial guy to talk about, and like the outlook, there's a lot of projection for it. But I think if we isolate the traits and the tools and the way that he played in those couple of games, it's such a small sample size. It's not enough to declare, hey, he's going to go on and win the Heisman. Hey, he's going to go on to be the clear-cut first overall pick when he does declare if it's this year or the next. But if we just look at the natural playmaking ability and the clear strength and power that he added to his profile, I see the makings of a player who will be in the mix at some point this year or the next for the Heisman, to be a top 5 quarterback in college football. He checks every box. And I think where outside of his athleticism and his arm strength that he presents, what's hard to find in a college quarterback is an understanding of ball placement with so few reps in live game action. When you put on the tape, yeah, he had a couple interceptions, he had a couple mistakes, but in those games, he's placing the ball with just really, really nice touch put on the football in order to set up his guys to win and to succeed. I think as the season goes on and progresses, maybe it's a little bit of a slow start. Maybe Ohio State isn't him bursting onto the scene like some people are hyping him up to be. But by the end of the year, I think we're going to see the real version of Arch Manning that everyone has hoped for since he's been a big-name recruit.
I got you, Joe, and I'm excited for it. But to me, I think there will be a more dominating quarterback presence and performance this season. And I'm going to go with Gary Newsmeyer, right? I mean, the only guy in the SEC returning and throwing for 4,000 yards. I know obviously his playmakers change, but can you talk a little bit about where this LSU team is and where Brian Kelly has them positioned this year to do something? And is this the year that he does make it to the SEC championship again?
I think that those expectations are absolutely capable of being achieved this season because this is the most well-rounded roster that Brian Kelly has had. Is it the best roster he's had? No, I mean, I would argue last year the group that they had with that great offensive line, I mean, that was a tremendous overall just unit. The year before, Jayden Daniels, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, but there's a lot more well-roundedness where it feels like there is a unit that can come together with great chemistry that's been there for some time. They're not overly relying on the transfer portal, but instead they used it to plug a couple of key holes by bringing in Mansour Delane and Patrick Payton. But as you said there, it all falls on the shoulders of Garrett Nussmeier. He has the capability to be a top quarterback in the country. We saw it in flashes through the starts of games, but then he would completely tank himself with really just frustrating, questionable decision-making. I think that this year, he and Joe Sloan are going to be a much better rhythm. I think that if they can establish the run a little bit better and take a little bit off his shoulders and him not having to feel like he has to do everything is going to allow for him to reach that potential. So I'm in agreement with you. I think that the expectation that Nussmeier ends up being this premier player, the best quarterback in the SEC, it should be expected because the supporting cast around him, the weapons around him, all that stuff is setting them up for a great 2025 year. But Nuss has to capture the moment, and he has to be more consistent.
You know, a guy I cannot wait to see who I don't believe, Joe, is eligible to come out this year, and I think it's next year, is DJ Lagway for Florida. Because last year, you know, he popped up in a few games, I believe, but now he's got like that whole offseason to be the guy and really come out and show what he can provide to Gator Nation. DJ Lagway and what you think about him and where we could be talking about him at this time next year. What are your thoughts on him as a prospect?
Yeah, so I haven't really evaluated him from the prospect lens, but one of the things that's been so interesting to me is like when I'm watching all these Florida prospects for the 2026 draft, and I'm watching some of their offensive linemen that they have. They've got Austin Barber's a good player. Jake Slaughter's another really good player at center for them. Every time I'm watching these other players, it's like, did DJ Lagway just make that throw? Did he really just make that throw? Did he make that play that he should not have made? He has an unbelievably powerful arm, but like the ability for him to improvise in the throw on the run, it's kind of Caleb Williams-esque, but I think that he's a little bit more bigger and stronger than Caleb Williams. DJ Lagway, for me, when we talk 2027, I'm going to just kind of blindly, and I don't want it to seem like I'm doing it recklessly, but I kind of feel like I'm going to jump fully in and just say right off the bat, he is going to be the number one prospect for me and one that I'm super excited about. I agree with you on him. I think that he has all the capability in the world to dominate this season. And I think for every expectation that Florida could flop this year, we should look at DJ Lagway as a reason why they could be a sleeper to reach the college football playoffs if he can play up to that hope and that expectation that we've put on him that we've seen from that first season.
Absolutely. Can we go back to, was it Steven Garcia and Jadeveon Clowney? Is that how far back we got to go? When you talk about South Carolina, this Gamecock team having Lenore Sellers and then their dynamic sophomore pass rusher on the other side, is this South Carolina team, poised for a big season?
Yeah, I really think it is. And I talked about the South Carolina team yesterday on Rufino and Joe Show, the college football podcast that me and my co-host do. And one of the things that we kind of came to this conclusion is that they're super boom or bust for what they can do this year. They're boom to be 10-2, to go to the playoffs, to upset teams again, because they've got a top 5 quarterback in Lenore Sellers who is impossible to take down because he's so strong. And then Dylan Stewart is going to wreak havoc in his second ever season of playing college football after he dominated last year. So they've got 2 guys that are some of the best of their positions. That is going to help you get to 10-2, but losing as many defensive players as they did last year, like Kyle Kennard and CJ Sanders and Nick Emanwari, it's going to be a little bit of a tough task. I think, and my ultimate thought on this is last year they were really doubted. I completely doubted them. I thought that Beamer was going to completely stink it up, and I thought that they were going to be an awful team, and I stupidly believed in that. And every single week I got proven wrong. Every single week I got proven wrong that South Carolina team was better than I thought that they were. So if we're doubting them right now, I think that anyone who's doubting all the way in needs to take a step back and realize doubting them last year did not work out because they completely outplayed what anyone thought that they could do.
All right, I'm going to take the Ohio State quarterback scenario off the board and Drew Aller off the board and ask you this. The most intriguing Big Ten quarterback situation for Joe DeLeon going into 2025 is what?
It is Fernando Mendoza starting. Transferred over. I don't think it's getting enough buzz in the draft community. Me and a few other who I got to give credit for being the guy who's pushed first quarterback drafted in this upcoming draft. He is strong, powerful. He runs like an ox. Big dude who can rip it downfield, but also isn't doing it recklessly. Like, he's not just throwing the ball into coverage. He's not pulling a Joe Milton and not knowing how to take speed off the ball. He knows how to layer throws and to attack tight windows because he's a really smart player. I think in this offense that produced a ton of production with Nathan Rourke last year, we're going to get a lot of that from Fernando Mendoza. But I'm also going to throw in Mark Gronowski at Iowa. That's a real deep pull. South Dakota State quarterback for the past few years. He's been around college football for so long. He has 12,000 career total yardage in his time with the Jackrabbits, won a national title, won the FCS Heisman, and he is big, physical, can run, tough as nails, decent passer, but he is the type of quarterback that Iowa has not had in some time under Kirk Ferentz, and I think that can unlock some things for Iowa for them to be a sneaky good team.
Definitely a name to watch. It's good stuff. He's Joe DeLeon, does an awesome job covering the NFL draft and college football over at A to Z Sports. Make sure you follow him on X and Twitter at Joe DeLeon. Joe, as always, appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Joe was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I know the phone broke up just a little bit at the beginning of his answer, but Fernando Mendoza, the transfer from Cal now at Indiana, is who he was talking about, and there's definitely some buzz out there for him this offseason.
Love that Mark Gronowski pull. Just love because
the deep cut right there.
Well, here's the thing: it's this guy is 49-6 as a starter. For me, wins and losses are my number one quarterback stat. So I like this guy.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun year around the conference, and I can't wait to see the kid up at Michigan State, Aiden Childs, I believe. Is his name last year. You watched, he's got some tools to him. I don't know what the weapons are like around him.
Lagway a little bit last year.
He's something to him up there at East Lansing.
Was it that I think they played us for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
Yeah. Got a little prickly over there.
Then Jeremiah's right hand showed up.
Yep. Then he's like, yeah, we're going to take this home. Speaking of Jeremiah Smith, our guy Adam King caught up with Jeremiah this weekend to talk about the 2025 season. You'll hear a little bit of that next in the Buckeye Bulletin. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated, because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know their co-founders are Ohio natives? Well, you should. Window Nation has been replacing windows in the Columbus region for over 15 years. Not only does Window Nation know what windows work best for Ohio homeowners like you, they're also local to the area. And right now, you can take advantage of Window Nation's biggest sale of the year. Remember this number, 50% off. All window styles, all from Window Nation. 50% off plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. Yeah, I said that. 5 whole years, 2030. No interest on the windows from Window Nation. Plus, they'll install your new windows in 1 day or less. Get the windows you want for 50% off plus no interest until 2030. What are you waiting for? Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today to get your free quote on replacement windows. Again, I can't stress this enough. You do not want to miss out on this deal. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. And tell them T-Bone sent you.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there.
So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge.
Get too hot?
Hey, my phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, welcome back in. Buckeye Bulletin time. DeVere Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver, in the house today for AR. You know, here we are, Depot, and it is July 14th, man. It's wild, isn't it?
We're here, man.
SEC Media Days this week, Big Ten Media Days next week, and like you said, we've arrived, man. It's football season is here, and I'm here for it. One guy that, you know, I just cannot wait to see year two of what he has to provide after the amazing year one that he had is Jeremiah Smith. And our guy Adam King from 10 TV had the pleasure of catching up with Jeremiah this weekend, and apparently not only him, but some of his teammates, they may be hearing some of the noise with some of the doubt that's out there.
We put in a lot of work with Coach Mig. We put in the workouts this year I could say was harder than last year, I should say. They've been pushing us hard, because it's a new team. Everybody got new roles and stuff like that. But I just can't wait till the season starts, and we definitely go put on a show. A lot of people have been doubting us. I've been seeing on Twitter and social media, so I can't wait to prove a lot of people wrong this year.
And I love that that's a star athlete, like I see it. You know, I'm scrolling through Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be.
Responds.
Like he does. He's one of those guys that he is in on that. He doesn't run away from that stuff.
No, he I can appreciate that.
Yeah, me too.
About him. If somebody says something, he'll let his social media presence be known, and he does watch. I mean, but that's the next generation of like great athletes. It's like
they grew up with this.
They grew up in this world.
Yeah.
They know about it. They're not afraid of it. He's gonna address it. I see y'all talking.
He did this last year. Remember when
Coach Mick turned up the workouts?
Yeah,
I see it. Thank you.
Remember last year where we were previewing that Notre Dame game, and they're saying
they're playing man.
We're playing man,
and it was
like,
all right.
Like Jeremiah Smith, we're playing man, and he said okay.
And then we did a go ball. And Emeka Ibuka called it for him, and we locked up the natty. So saying man.
Yeah, so no, he doesn't shy away from the smoke. He did it again this offseason with the comments about Michigan. And when you are Jeremiah Smith, to me, you have every right to say those type of things based off of who you are as a player.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. And I saw this weekend, and I got comfortable with this. I got comfortable with it. Jeremiah Smith is not after being the best wide receiver at Ohio State. He's after being one of the greatest college football players of all time. Like, he's going to be in the Barry Sanders, Reggie Bush, Vince Young. Like, he's in those conversations.
You know how when LeBron made comments about he's chasing a ghost at the time, that was Michael Jordan. There's only certain guys
he's in those
that can say those type of things. And I think what you're talking about with Jeremiah, with the body work that's already there, the historic true freshman season that we got from him.
I mean, it started off, bro. I mean, he cashed out on a natty freshman year for $1,400. I mean, that's how we're getting started, okay? Like,
it's only down from here.
He was the number one receiver on the team that was like, it was 4 first rounders, and then the fifth first rounder was still, around in that recruiting class, like in that running, and he outshined him too.
Yeah, and
like his story is getting longer, and like this, it's just. The legend is growing.
For sure. You had people like Todd McShay who came out last year and said, if this dude could come out right now, he would be the number one pick in this draft.
No.
This draft.
That's confirmed. I went to Pro Day, and they were like, this is an embarrassment of riches, and the best guy's not even out here. Because Cardinal Tate and Ennis ran, and Emeka ran, because it's good. You need guys with you, because if Emeka didn't have guys with him, like, you're gassed, right? Like, it's just you running routes by yourself, you're gassed. So they're like, the best guy's not even out here. That's confirmed, Maddie.
Yeah,
I know. NFL scouts feel that.
I know.
Okay, but hear everything you're saying right now. Don't you think it's kind of lame doing the whole, like, we're doubted routine?
No.
No? How? Listen to everything you guys have been saying after this quote that we just played. This is a glaze fest like Rothman wouldn't believe.
I hear what TLC's saying because I would love to, and maybe AK asked him, and I didn't hear
a Georgia player.
What doubt is he hearing?
that Ohio State isn't going to repeat the natty, that they can't beat Michigan, that their quarterback is inexperienced, that they got the best defense in the country coming in on week 1 at 12 a.m., and they're going to get popped by Texas. What are you talking about? What is he hearing? There's a lot of storylines. Do we got to keep going, Cole? What are you saying? There's nobody saying Ohio State. I get what the Vegas lines are saying. Yeah. But at the same time, if you're Jeremiah Smith and you feel like, hey, like, this could be his tick. He could be like, oh, wait, you're not going to say what's up to me in the locker room? All right, I'm dunking on you every time I get. Like, he could be crazy like that. Like, he could have a switch where it's like just one peep and I'm dominating you. Like Jordan, right? Like
the made-up stuff with Jordan.
The made-up stuff with Jordan.
Right.
Have you ever seen the movie The Program, TLC? Yep. The stuff Alvin would come up with? Oh, you the person that hit my little sister. Like, we don't know
what Jordan say in The Last Dance. Like, he looked for somebody in the crowd. Just look at me wrong.
Just look at me wrong.
I'm turned on.
This could be and listen. Hey, they are doubting you, JJ. They're doubting you. They said you weren't good. I'm going to hype it up.
I get it. Look, I know how this is going to be a stupid sentence. I know how the athlete's mind works. I get it. I know stupid hearing that from me. You'd rather hear DeVere say that than me. But all I'm saying is, if that were a Georgia player, everybody up here would be making fun of him. That's all I'm saying. Because after they won the championship and someone said, hey, they predicted us to go 6-6. Yeah, one person. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
I think anybody.
It's conveniently geographic.
No matter what realm of life that you're in, when you want to be great, you're going to look to anything. You can think about a memory of your childhood.
Yeah.
When somebody wronged you, and that could motivate you that day.
I get
to
that.
Get up and go do
JJ, I want to see more. How about that? I want to see more from you. More. Because there's more in there.
Let's go. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Again, thanks to Adam King from 10 TV for getting that sound with all Jeremiah Smith. Coming up in the deep dive after an update. Depot, we got training camps kicking off this week. You got rookies reporting tomorrow around the NFL. We're going to talk about some of the interesting storylines and training camps we can't wait to follow, and also some of the Rookie of the Year candidates in our deep dive next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Whether it's water heater trouble, clogged or leaky pipes, or sub pump worries, Logan Services has you covered with service calls for just $79. We're fast, friendly, and here to help you with your plumbing projects. Logan Services.
So we bought an actual shopping mall and put one of the largest Honda dealerships in the world inside of it. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. So it's big. We house about 150 to 200 cars indoors, lit, all unlocked, ready for you to be able to view and see. A fully tempered climate. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, 10 below zero, super hot. There's real trees inside, and it's just a casual environment. And if you haven't seen it, it's really a cool story, not about its opulence. It's just a cool story to see what was a dilapidated old mall being reinvigorated into a pillar in the community that everybody benefits from.
This July at Lindsay Honda, our famous Cash for Clunkers is back during our Honda Summer event. Get up to $3,500 minimum for your trade and use it for a down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash. Only at Lindsay Honda.
Hey, it's Anthony. I actually enjoy the off-season. Gives me a chance to be really active, travel, be on the move. But when my back started giving me pain, I wasn't going to just deal with it this time. I went to the Good Feet store. Their personally fit arch supports got my feet into their ideal alignment, and I could already feel the difference in my back immediately. And they educated me. I had no clue we actually have several arches under our feet, and those cushy over-the-counter insoles were not going to do the trick. So many people suffering with pain can benefit from their system. People with pain in their feet, ankles, lower legs, knees, hips, and more. I've been wearing my personally fit arch supports for a while now, and they've given me the motivation and confidence to be as active as I want to be. The Good Feet store thrives on being solution-oriented. Go in. The fitting is free. They want you to try them in the store and feel them for yourself. So get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City and on Polaris Parkway. Or check them out at goodfeet.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Beth, you're in charge of ordering the tacos for the meeting today, yeah?
I'm not going to order the tacos.
What?
I'm going to Easy Cater the tacos. With Easy Cater, you can order from a huge variety of restaurants, track expenses, and save time.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you're emailing the meeting notes, right?
No, I'm going to easy mail them. Where's my music?
Sorry, Ben. There's no Easy Cater for that.
Easy Cater, the easy way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
With Progressive customer service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Reds and Guardians both ended the first half of the MLB season on high notes with wins on Saturday and Sunday. They're now both off with the All-Star Week festivities beginning tonight in Atlanta with the Home Run Derby. Seattle Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh is the favorite to take the Home Run Derby title. With Cincinnati's win yesterday over the Colorado Rockies, it became career win number 2,000 for manager Terry Francona. He becomes the 13th manager in MLB history to reach the 2,000 win mark. Some conference alignment news. Louisiana Tech plans to leave Conference USA for the Sun Belt, becoming the conference's 14th member. The entry date for Louisiana Tech is still uncertain. And the Cleveland Cavaliers announced today that team president Kobe Altman agreed to a contract extension that goes through 2030. The Cavs went 64-18 last season and earned the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVere Posey holding it down for you on a Monday. Thanks, as always, for your time. Much appreciated. Bottom of the hour, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com. He'll hop on to talk all things Buckeyes as we get ready for Big Ten Media Day next week, and then practices, and then before you know it, it'll be game week against Texas. Depot, the mind of a football player right now. When you look at the days in July just rolling, 4th of July passes you by. The Nathan's hot dog competition is now gone. Joey Chestnut wins another one. You know, as a former player, you see these things. Is it like the Sunday scaries for us common folk, right? When we have to go to work on Monday and the Sunday scaries hit at some point in time? Or was it like, let's go. Like, I'm ready to cook. Let's get back in the lab.
See, for me, just from my perspective, because I was tormented with, like, just the mindset of I'm not doing enough. At that, like, in my athlete days, like, a lot of this time of the year was not a dark time, but almost like a tunnel vision of, you know, 4th of July, you're probably not eating too much, right? You're saying, I can't have the chips. And it's like you're
had that potato salad?
Well, because you got to make weight for training camp because it's coming up. And so then, like, at this time of year, what I like to see, I'm scrolling. I'm looking for the craziest training stuff right now. Like, I'll tell you some of the things for that are like I'm in my Hall of Fame. I think, this is like Chad Ochocinco, like racing a horse back in those days. Okay. I think I saw Jalen Warren this past weekend. He was pulling soccer goalpost as weight.
That's new for me.
Aaron Donald was training with knives, right? Like, guys, the mind of an athlete right now, you're crazy right now.
Did Watt do anything crazy?
Right. Like, yes, I saw J.J. Watt during this time of year. We're in there in the weight room, and it's a thing full of sled. It's a sled, and he's like, all right, like the long pole for the sleds, right? He's put as many 45s on there as he could. Then he like stacked as many and then like taped it and was like, I'm going to see how many 40. You want to get in on this? No. So it's.
And then Cushing said, yeah.
So at this time of the year, the mind of a football player, guys are probably going crazy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because I'm not doing enough. I got to eat right. I got what edge can I take? Mm-hmm. You guys are going.
It's getting real. It's getting real out there for sure. So tomorrow around the NFL, you will have the Ravens, the Bills, a couple programs that will get going with their rookies. The Miami Dolphins rookies will report, including the Giants, 49ers, and Seahawks as well. And so you'll have some rookie activity going on around the league, which is always good to see. Depot, when you think about the class of guys now coming into the NFL, this rookie class, who's a guy for you to where you cannot wait to see what training camp is like for him in the coming weeks, but more importantly, what the season is like for him, and maybe a situation you like or don't like when it comes to this rookie class?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, number one question, where is Travis Hunter playing week one, right? I want to see if he is because I think he's a Pro Bowl cornerback. I think his ability to attack the football, his ability to track the football is more threatening as a defensive player than an offensive player for me.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like if him and Terry McLaurin are running down the field at the same time, they both have like everybody, they have a 50-50 chance. It's called a 50-50 ball. But, like, the edge is kind of on Travis. High pointing it, right? He's taller. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he can take that ability to, defend, boom, turn his hips and track the ball as a defensive guy and route recognition, he can be a special cornerback. I really want to see where he starts at.
No, I like that, man. That's going to be fun. I think there's definitely a path to where they can go down, meaning the Jaguars offense. You're talking about Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter being a really, really good duo in this league at wide receiver, because I think the consistency from Trevor Lawrence needs to be a little bit better, but I do think the structure now for Trevor Lawrence is better than what it has been over the last couple of years. So you're right, just the snap count for Travis Hunter and where that goes week in and week out. My gut is telling me we'll probably see more of him at receiver, but I don't know. Like, that's the beauty of having a player like Travis Hunter, is maybe that can be a week-to-week game plan dependent type of thing. Like, okay, we need you more on defense this week. Hey, coach, I can hold it down there. Or on offense, I can cook with Trevor Lawrence. Game one for them will be home against the Carolina Panthers, and then we'll get to see Jacksonville up close and personal, because week two they come into the jungle to take on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Go ahead. What else you got?
No, I was going to throw out a few other rookies. I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm excited to see our guy Trevion and see what kind of dynamic ability he brings to his situation out there in New England. I think you add a guy like Malachi Starks to the Ravens defense into where this guy plays like a 10-year veteran right out the gate. Here's why. You're right next to Kyle Hamilton. You have Roquan right in front of you. This team is already experienced. You step into a back end where you're plug and play. I think he has a good rookie year.
Kyle Hamilton, we talked earlier about the top 10 quarterback list voted on by coaches, executives, and scouts in the NFL. Kyle Hamilton was tabbed as the number one safety in the NFL, so he'll get to learn under his wings too. That rookie class, those first two picks for Baltimore, I know a lot of people are interested to see what they can get out of Malachi Starks, and then you add Mike Green to that mix, the pass rusher from Marshall, who some people thought would go in the top 15, 20 picks of the first round, slides to them all the way down to the second round, and so maybe they can get over the hump with some of their rookie defensive guys that they're bringing in over there in Baltimore as well.
This is my so you know my favorite move of the draft last year
was Michael Penix going to Atlanta.
Do you know what my favorite move this year is? I'm gonna tell you.
Hold on, let me see if I can guess this. Is it the doubling down of Atlanta and their pass rushers?
No, it's the doubling down of a free agency and a drafted quarterback of Seattle. The rule of two lives.
So the Jalen Milroe effect out there in Seattle.
It lives. You talk about a guy who can literally like explode in this league. I mean, he's the fastest time of quarterbacks. He's 6'3", 6'4", and he's like 225. Yeah. And he ran a 4.3. A 4.3. When the Seattle Seahawks drafted Russell Wilson, they had signed Matt Flynn to a big contract.
Yes, they did.
From
Green Bay.
Yeah. And they ended up going with Russell. And just training camp shook out. Sam Darnold has battled for his positions a lot. We get to see it. Was that Kevin O'Connell, or is this really Sam, Darnold's reemergence? But he has a killer on his neck.
Does. Listen, the only thing that I'm interested to see is, does he have the changeup and the curveball in the bag? Because the arm for Jalen Milroe is explosive. Like, he can push the ball downfield. He's been really good at that over the last couple of years. But those touch passes, if he figures that out with what you're talking about, then they're really cooking with hot grease. And you can see what they're trying to do. McDonald, their head coach,
was in Baltimore.
Yes, the defensive coordinator. So going up against Lamar Jackson every day in practice, he's looking at Jalen Milroe and saying, I'm trying to recreate that out here in Seattle.
That's why I get so excited. It's because it was so quiet. But if he has one of those Dak Prescott preseasons, right? Like one of those preseasons, CJ Stroud preseason, like, he's kind of completing a lot of passes. And, if things get really has to break it down, he is picking up positive yards with his legs.
Yeah.
This situation needs to be monitored.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's definitely going to be interesting to see not only the Jalen Milroe aspect of that, but Sam Darnold. Is what we saw last year real? Or was it a flash in the plan? Or was it Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. First one for me, Cam Ward. Okay. Is he going to continue the trend of year one quarterbacks coming into the league and balling? And also, are we at a point to where maybe this is just the reality of where we are, to where rookies, the learning curve at the quarterback position isn't as tough as it used to be 15, 20 years ago? Because I was thinking about this the other day, and like we're caught up in this cycle right now of CJ Stroud, Jayden Daniels, back-to-back rookies playing at a high clip. But zooming out from those guys, like this has been a thing for a little bit. For not a ton of guys, but we had RG3, we had Dak. You just mentioned Russell Wilson. I mean, these are three guys to where in year one in the National Football League, they hit the ground running. And I'm wondering now, we've got these offensive coordinators that are plucking things from college offenses and bringing that in with these rookie quarterbacks, that's allowing these guys to hit the NFL ground running at a pretty good pace. And so Cam Ward in Tennessee, they bring in some OGs at the wide receiver spot, right? You add a Tyler Lockett to the mix. I don't know what he has left, but Brian Callahan in year two as their head coach is an offensive mind. And Cam Ward, to me, based off of the amount of snaps that he's played at the college level, right at Washington State, and when you look at his time at Miami, we've seen that be a trend too, to where some of the rookies that have come in are guys that played a lot of snaps at college. So that is going to be fun for me to watch down there, because it's a Division II, to where if Cam Ward pops and if Trevor Lawrence can get back to where some people thought he should be in his NFL career, that can be a fun division with CJ Stroud, Cam Ward, and Trevor Lawrence down there in the AFC South. And so I was thinking about that a lot. Like the trend in the NFL is there's going to be a rookie that comes in that's played a lot of ball in college, and that he can succeed right away in year one, and maybe Cam Ward can be the next guy in line.
I love that. Tough division he has, right? A quarterback field division, but I think he's talented enough to compete with those guys. A few names I think are some late round steals.
Save them for me. That's
you.
A good tease. Let's do those next in pre-snap read. It's Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Colin Mann here for Universal Windows Direct. Are your leaky windows costing you money? Yes, they are. Right now, when you call my guys at Universal Windows Direct, you get payments as low as $99 a month, or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Seriously, upgrade your home now and relax until next year. Call now and get a free in-home window and energy assessment. Choose the payment plan that's right for you. 614-502-5220 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included. Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Anthony. I actually enjoy the off-season. Gives me a chance to be really active, travel, be on the move. But when my back started giving me pain, I wasn't going to just deal with it this time. I went to the Good Feet store. Their personally fit arch supports got my feet into their ideal alignment, and I could already feel the difference in my back immediately. And they educated me. I had no clue. We actually have several arches under our feet, and those cushy over-the-counter insoles were not going to do the trick. So many people suffering with pain can benefit from their system. People with pain in their feet, ankles, lower legs, knees, hips, and more. I've been wearing my personally fit arch supports for a while now, and they've given me the motivation and confidence to be as active as I want to be. The Good Feet store thrives on being solution-oriented. Go in. The fitting is free. They want you to try them in the store and feel them for yourself. So get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City and on Polaris Parkway. Or check them out at goodfeet.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See, we didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of showers and thunderstorms today will be a lot more spread out than this morning. Otherwise, expect skies to be mostly to partly cloudy with our afternoon highs in the upper 80s. For tonight, mostly clear skies overnight, lows down right around 70. And then for tomorrow, we'll see chances of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, more isolated in nature. Otherwise, skies will be mostly sunny with our highs near 90. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, before we get into some pre-snap reads, let me let you know, folks, that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Make sure on game days you're keeping an eye out for those Cleveland Guardians Boost and Super Boost. Download the Bet365 app today. Depot tonight down in the A. We got the Home Run Derby. There are some big boppers in this thing from the left side of the plate. So you got Cal Riley, who's a switch hitter. O'Neal Cruz, TLC's guy. Switch hitter as well, I believe. Am I making that up? Or is he a switch hitter?
Lefty.
Lefty only for him. James Wood, big bopper from the Washington Nationals, who's a lefty. Matt Olson, the Atlanta Brave himself, who's a lefty. And then Jazz Chisholm can get in there from the left side and do his thing, too. I'm rolling with James Wood to win the Home Run Derby tonight. Over at Bet365, he has the third best odds at plus 400. He hits in that ballpark a few times a year since they are a division rival. So I'm looking at him, man. He's had a tremendous first half. Not quite a household name around the world of sports and baseball, but I think after tonight, if he gets it done, Depot, he will be just that. So I'm going with James Wood plus 400 to get this thing done. TLC, go ahead.
I'm going to go with Jazz Chisholm.
You're going Jazz Chisholm?
Yeah.
The Yankees?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Here's why. This first time in it. I mean, you could see his antics on the sideline. He seems like kind of guy that's funny, and he just probably like you can tell he probably got into a locker room conversation probably with Aaron. Like, man, I'll probably win that.
He's a showman.
You know what I'm saying?
He's built for this type of stuff.
So he could catch fire.
Yeah, he's a showman. I'm not mad at that. That's really good value. Plus 1,500 right now to get that thing done. TLC, you want to throw out who you think could be a winner tonight in this thing?
First of all, I'm really glad Depot had a thought because I was in the middle of chewing on an apple when you threw it to me. So I'm all good now, though. I may have to go with the hometown guy.
Okay.
I might go Matt Olson.
Okay.
That's a dude.
Yeah.
And I know that this has nothing to do with anything because this is just, batting practice. But the way that because he's like 6'6".
Yep.
So when he gets in the batter's box and he swings an enormous bat, so when you're pitching to him, it's like he covers the whole strike. Like he's huge.
Yeah.
You know what else to add to your point? Because I like that is his swing doesn't seem like it requires a bunch of effort. And in a contest like this where you're rep after rep after rep, that could be a sneaky thing for him right to where that can pay off to where he can conserve energy. So we got Matt Olson for TLC.
Yeah, I do like James Wood, though.
James Wood for me, and then you're going Jazz Chisholm for the Home Run Derby.
Catch fire for me.
Tonight. Matt Olson's plus 900 over there at Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Again, download the Bet365 app today. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. You must be present in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, in our last segment, we were talking about some of the interesting storylines and players around the NFL since training camps are popping off this week in the National Football League. Depot, you left us with a little bit of a tease, right? You said you got your eye on maybe some fifth rounders in the NFL that you're interested by. Who are some of these dudes?
Just looking at the back half outside of the first two nights.
You know who my dad is?
Yep. Well, that's not one of the names, but I do have two Cleveland Browns.
Wrist up, Matty Ice. Wrist up.
Absolutely.
It was up.
Absolutely. That I do have two Cleveland Browns that were drafted that I do think will give good value. One is my number one value pick for the Browns this year. You get Dylan Sampson.
You like him?
Well, here's the reason why I like him. I like when you take two backs. I got drafted into a room with Ben Tate and Arian Foster. You understand how awkward that is? And then, after that, you start to see these two running back rooms pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And you had success with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. These two guys are a lot different type of players than those guys. Now, Nick Chubb, I'm not taking anything away from Nick Chubb.
Incredible.
But Quinshon Judkins is coming off of a natty, and he's he's that type of back, and Dylan Sampson's coming off leading the SEC, and so I think that's incredible value there.
We have to wait and see what's going on with Quinshawn, with the story that popped up this weekend, so we will let that play out before we go down that road any further. But as far as just football stuff goes, Depot, I see the vision, and their draft as a whole outside of the quarterbacks, I know there's a lot of people in on that because of the potential there on offense, so I absolutely see the vision and what you got there. Go ahead. What else you got?
And here... And some other late round picks that I do like, and I would run away with is I really like Will Howard in the 6th round to Pittsburgh. I think Aaron Rodgers doesn't stay healthy. He steps in, and Jimmy Horn Jr. too as well in the 6th round in Carolina.
Is that where he landed?
Yeah, Carolina.
Playmaker for them.
He's gonna have a big year.
So they brought in Jimmy Horn Jr. They brought in Teteroa McMillan, who was their 1st-round pick at wide receiver.
He's gonna have a big year.
Credit also real quick because it went under the radar because nobody was watching Carolina Panther football at the end of the year, and rightfully so. Yeah. But Bryce Young, it clicked a little bit for him. Not going to get carried away, but you look at where he was, right, and it looked real bleak, and he got benched to coming back and getting another opportunity. Now you talk about bringing in Ted McMillan, bringing in Jimmy Horn Jr. and some playmakers around him. They can grow together as a young unit. Maybe that will click for them. I'm going to go with not a late round pick, but I'm going to go with rounds 1 through 5 and liking the future of where this could go when it talks about the draft, when we talk about the draft. I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills. I like the Buffalo Bills going with their picks in round 1 through 5, all being defensive players. You know what you have on offense right now. You have a young core that is ready to rock and roll and grow over the next couple years, right? When you look at Keon Coleman, his emergence in year 2 is going to be big for them. But you had guys step up last year in that wide receiver room, right, that really got things going. They got a nice, I think, duo at tight end that can still get better and better. But in round 1, you talk about Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky as a corner, and then you go D-tackle, edge, D-tackle, corner.
He was the most athletic corner. He was one of the top. Some perceived him as one of the top corners
from Kentucky, Maxwell Harrison.
In his draft.
And then you come back in round 5, and you get Jordan Hancock from Ohio State, who we all know is very valuable to your defense.
So do you remember Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer?
Yes. Yes.
They just replaced those two with the guy that you mentioned, Max Harrison, and Jordan Hancock. They have those type of abilities to play safety, come down and play, linebacker, nickel. They replaced those two. Played good football in Buffalo for a lot of years.
And you have a head coach who is a defensive mind, and Sean McDermott.
I like this, man.
And so I just think their plan of what they're building, it's like we have an MVP talent at quarterback. If they get the James Cook thing figured out, they got a really good running back there. And then the pass catchers, they kind of remind me, Depot, of what Green Bay has, to where you look at their pass catchers and there isn't that no doubt name that you know is the number one. But that can also be a weapon for the entire offense because it's like, who can you can't really lock in on one guy. And so you know what you're doing there. Get some young guys on defense that can rock and roll, and I think that could make Buffalo scarier. Blended in with some of the vets that are already there on defense.
And Kincaid has a huge year this year.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Those are your pre-snap reads for today. Real quick, I just wanted to take a glance at Buffalo's schedule. So week 1 will be Sunday Night Football at home against the Baltimore Ravens. They get a immediate divisional matchup, 2 in a row, actually, at the Jets week 2. And then you get Miami at home week 3. So the Bills have a strong opportunity to grab some control on the AFC if they can get rolling with 2 divisional matchups and an opponent in Baltimore where both teams probably feel like they can win the 1 seed on any given year in the conference. And so, the AFC is just absolutely off the chain right now.
Man, I got so many, like we're talking draft, and I'm sitting here looking at you, and I'm thinking, is Tyler Sloth starting this year? It's just so much stuff we can just go down.
I know.
And I'm sitting here, I love what the Cardinals did in the draft. I'm getting excited that training camp is starting, man. A lot of these questions, a lot of these competitions, the rookies seeing if guys. I just remember that training camp when Dak was out playing Tony Romo. And that just training camp that summer just felt significant to me for some reason. I just remember being surprised by that. I hope this year I'm surprised by rookies, training camp and preseason.
You mentioned Arizona real quick. They every draft selection that they made,
I love their draft,
was a defensive draft selection outside of one.
I love their draft.
And so, look, it's like, hey, we got Marvin, we got Trey McBride. We're good on offense for the most part. Let's get our defense together, and we may be on to something. Here in 2 minutes, a guy that has himself together and does an awesome job covering the Ohio State beat is Stephen Means from Cleveland.com. He'll join us in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and neither suggested surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, you know that complete HVAC system we sell for $12,000?
Yeah, it's for homes that are 1,600 square feet or less.
How big is 1,600 square feet?
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Those homes are what America is made of.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Other companies are charging $15,000 to $18,000 for that same system.
Yeah, I know.
And if your family doesn't need a new furnace, Eco will replace the AC component for just $8,500. Why are we doing this?
Nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, and school teachers live in those houses, Jerry.
The people that America is made of live in the houses that America is made of.
We're just doing what we can to restore balance to the universe, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When a person is doing well, they're making money. But when they're doing good, they're helping others.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
We're bringing balance to the universe.
Go to geteco.com.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That you are. Welcome back in, Matty Ice. Chopping it up with the former Buckeye today. DeVere Posey in the house today for AR. Going to use right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bring on our guy, Stephen Means. Does an awesome job covering the Ohio State football program and more over at Cleveland.com. Stephen, what's up, my man? How are you?
What's up, guys?
How you been? You been all right? How's summer treating you?
It's great. Obviously, it's super hot or super rainy all the time, but that's the Midwest for you.
No doubt. We got SEC Media Days rocking and rolling right now. Big Ten Media Days popping off next week. You know, our guy Adam King caught up with Jeremiah Smith this weekend, and he mentioned, hey, you know, I'm hearing some of the noise out there. Some people are doubting us. Steven, when you hear a player like Jeremiah Smith say that, like, hey, there's people doubting what we are, maybe what I am, and all that stuff, like, what do you think when you hear players say those things, specifically here at Ohio State?
Who is doubting Jeremiah Smith? That's my first thought process there. Who's doubting that alien? Well, no, but I get where he's coming from. I think it's just been a quiet offseason for Ohio State, especially when you compare it to last year, right, when you're bringing in transfers, your JJ's coming in here and doing what he's doing, all those guys coming back for one more year. It just felt like a loud environment around Ohio State. There's just such a reset, and I think Arch Manning has taken up so much of the airways and playoff expansion talk and all these other things that I think Ohio State's maybe just been on the back burner a little bit, which I think is a good thing for this team to not have so much attention on it because, you know, once the season starts, that all goes out the window. So I think it's a good thing that no one's been talking about Ohio State right now, even if they're one of the most prominent programs in college football.
And I'm going to double down on that, and I think we're trying to keep the quarterback controversy quiet because there has to be some level of fatigue for Ryan Day that goes all the way back to – man, where we're talking Quinn Ewers, C.J. Stroud start. Like, it's been a competition just about every year since then. So I think I'm okay with us kind of being quiet. And you know what I say? Yeah, Jeremiah, they're talking bad about you, bro. Like, I want him to be pissed off. Like, so let's piss Jeremiah off so he can go play and be even more special.
Yeah, last time he was ticked off, Oregon had to get the brunt of that. So that's probably not a bad idea. But some of this is how Ryan has handled quarterback competitions, right? He's never in the spring outright and come out and said, hey, Justin Fields is a starter. Hey, C.J. Stroud is a starter. Hey, Kyle McCord is a starter. Hey, Will Howard is a starter. Even if we all think it's going to be Julian Sand, they still have to go earn the job. And I think that also plays a role in this, right? Because everybody else around the country is like, yeah, this is our guy. Here's a microphone. Go talk to him. Well, it does feel like Ohio State's been kind of hiding its quarterbacks all offseason, which I'm not saying that's a bad approach. It's just a very different approach, and I think a lot of the other prominent programs around the country are doing it right now.
We were talking about some of the guys that were at Ohio State that are now going on to the league, coming out in this year's draft. You know, DeVere brought up Travion Henderson and where he is now with the New England Patriots. Let's now talk about the running back room that's currently here in Columbus and your thoughts on the skill sets that are in that room and, you know, how much juice is going to be there versus what we saw a year ago with Quinshawn and Henderson doing their thing.
Yeah, I think last year's floor is definitely higher, right? You had two guys who were two of the five best running backs in college football, and Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson. You don't quite have that coming into the season. I think James Peoples is ready, though. That guy's ready to carry the ball 15 to 20 times for you if you need him to do that. So that's the guy that last year he didn't play because two of the five best running backs in the country were on this team, and I think people are going to notice that very quickly when he gets his first start against Texas. C.J. Donaldson, I think, is a good pairing for him because when you think about Trey and Quinshawn and what Carlos Lockwood did with them, Trey was more of the out in space. Travion was more of the in between the tackles, even though they can do a little bit of both. That dynamic is probably what you're going to see with James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson. Donaldson maybe being more of the Quinshawn Judkins, while James Peoples is more of the Travion Henderson. But they can do a little bit of both because, like I said, the floor isn't as high. But then one name to continue to keep an eye on is Bo Jackson, where there are a lot of people in that program who are really high on the kids whose name is Lamar Bo Jackson. So that's if there's going to be a true freshman not named Devin Sanchez who might push for playing time, it's probably going to be Bo Jackson.
Absolutely. I wanted to throw three names at you that I think will be household names: C.J. Higgs, Edric Houston, and Caden Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Caden Curry, Edric Houston, and C.J. Higgs. What impact will these three gentlemen have on the rush and the quarterback?
I think Edric might be the best defensive tackle in the Big Ten this year.
Yes, sir.
Like, seriously, the upside, that's a guy who's played defensive end his whole life, and now he's playing three-tech. And you know Larry Johnson's like to do that. He did it with Draymond Jones all those years ago, and you see what he was able to do. Jay Sean Cornell, he did the same thing with him. I think Edric's going to be a star. I think Kenyatta has been waiting on this moment, right? He's in a weird spot because there's two ways this can go. We're either going to find out why Kenyatta couldn't push for more playing time behind Jack and JT over the last 3 years, or we're going to be going, hey, Larry, how come you didn't play this guy more, even if you had Jack and JT over the last couple of years? It's his time now, and you do want to see him kind of step up into that role. And I think CJ, he's found the home that works for him. And I just think the five-star thing, that we got to throw that out the window now, and we got to see it. And he's at the position that he was always meant to play, defensive end. If we think Matt Patricia is going to maybe be a little bit more multiple with those fronts look like, I think there's a case that Kenyatta and CJ could both pop this year. But they are in a kind of now or never situation because this is their last year. It's not like this can be a building year to 2026 for them. They got to bring it this year because that's a lot of production that you're trying to replace at defensive end.
Steven Means, Cleveland.com, joining us here on The Fan to talk all things Ohio State football. Steven, when we talk wide receiver three, like a Carnell, Tate, and Jeremiah, we know what we're getting from those guys. They're going to be a dominant duo. But after that, the depth of that room and how you feel about, hey, if one of those guys goes down with an unfortunate injury, this guy could step up. Is there that guy or two maybe in that room that you believe in?
Yeah, Brandon Ennis is going to be the starting slot receiver. And I want to believe the first-round wide receiver down in Tampa who told us at the NFL Combine that Brandon Ennis was just like him. That's all I needed to hear because every time one of those first-round wide receivers go, hey, the younger guy is just like me, they end up being right. So I'll just believe Emeka. Behind that, I think, seriously, man, I'm at the point now where it's like until one's not a first-rounder, then I'm just going to assume they're all going to be first-rounders. Behind that, I think Bryson Rogers, he's right on time. He spent 2 years developing in the background, and now he can maybe push for a wide receiver 4 role. We saw what Mylan Graham did in the spring game. Now that he's had a full off season here, that's mini Garrett Wilson. That's a guy to look out for. And then the true freshman, Quincy Porter, listen, at literally any other Big Ten school, he's probably their starting X receiver, right? And probably the only place he's not their best receiver might be Oregon, and that's because they got DeCournet and Moore out there. This is probably a learning year for him behind JJ, just like Carnell learned for a year behind Marvin Harrison Jr. in 2023. But that second line of Bryson Rogers, Miley Graham, and Quincy Porter, that's a starting unit literally anywhere else in the Big Ten. And so I think the present, once again, is bright for Ohio State's wide receivers, and the future is just as bright for Ohio State's wide receivers. Because, again, until one's not a first-rounder, we're just going to assume Brian Hartline's only going to produce first-rounders.
So is this an opportunity for us to see more of Caleb Downs with the ball in his hand? I feel like, just, being in media, and this is just my weird hypothesis that Ryan Day or somebody had to mention to Caleb Downs, hey, like, you'll play offense for his NIL deal to get him to come up here. Because it was just so weird that we talked about him playing running back. Like, we had serious, segments and shows about this, and it just never happened. Does he have the ball in his hands more this year, or was that not for nothing?
I think when Day said that, I was at the press conference. He said it was a summer and it gave us something to talk about. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, right? Okay. We just watched the Heisman Trophy winner play both sides of the ball. Now, he's not going to go that far out in this, but you don't have Travion and Quinshon, so is there room for a package for Caleb to play running back? Sure, maybe. But if you want to take a safe bet, he'll do some punt return stuff like we saw last year. He even took one to the house. So far, he's taken one to the house at Alabama, and now he's taking one to the house at Ohio State. And he continued that in year 3 here at Ohio State. I just think you got to be careful because I think that's the most valuable player in the program right now because this isn't last year's defense. It can still be as talented as last year's, but it's not as experienced as last year's defense. And he's going to be at the nucleus of all of that. All the stuff we saw them doing with Caleb in the playoff, that's going to be for 16, 17 games this year. And so I like the idea. I think it would be fun to see it, whether it's in a big game or they do it against Ohio or Grambling State to go, oh, Caleb Downs is the running back stuff, because then it's another thing you can add to his Heisman Trophy case of, look, he's got a rushing touchdown and he's got a punt return for a touchdown, plus he's awesome on defense. But I think this year specifically, because of how inexperienced his defense right now is, you got to take the safe bet when it's the guy who you're building. Matt Patricia is building this entire defense around Caleb Downs, and you can't afford to lose that because you wanted him to get a 2nd and 7 snap as a running back. So I like the idea. I just don't like it. As I think from a paranoid coaching standpoint, you're probably thinking, what if this guy gets hurt on offense and then our entire defense falls apart?
No, that's real. We'll get you out of here on this one. When it comes to the quarterback run game this year, we know it was always a threat there with Will, and he executed it at a high level a season ago. But between Julian and Lincoln and the guys that are in that room, how much of that do you think will be available for Brian Hartline and Coach Day this year?
I think it depends on who wins the quarterback battle. I think Julian's probably going to win the quarterback battle, but he's not the runner. Will is. Lincoln's the best athlete Ryan Day's had at quarterback since Justin Fields. And that includes CJ, that includes Kyle, that includes Will Howard, that includes CJ Stroud on down the list. He's the best athlete. So do I think there is a world where if Julian's your starting quarterback, Lincoln maybe has a role in some type of package like they tried to do with Devin Brown in 2023? Yeah, I'm open to that idea. But if somehow Lincoln pulls out this quarterback battle, then I just think you're running the Will Howard offense from last year, and that worked out pretty well.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Stephen Means does an awesome job covering Ohio State football for Cleveland.com. Stephen, as always, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Anytime, guys. Thanks.
Stephen was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Fellas, sometimes I'll be out on the streets and people say, Matty Ice, I hear your Columbus Men's Clinic read. I need some help. I'm feeling tired, sluggish. I get to the gym. I don't have that same energy. Fellas, if you get to the Columbus Men's Clinic, they will get you headed in the right direction. There's no guesswork. There's no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. You got to beware of online fixes. Generic online pills are overpriced and they are ineffective. Over at the Columbus Men's Clinic, everything is affordable and accessible. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. You need to act now, fellas. You only get one life. Procrastination is the worst thing you can do when it comes to your body and your health. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com today. Again, that's 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com today. We'll hit the finish line of the show next. We'll tell the truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, Sorry for that. The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, save big on Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts. They're only $2.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
You found the one, now find the ring. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. On July 25th and 26th, Wedding Weekend is back with event-exclusive pricing for 2 days only. Celebrate with buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and 10% off handcrafted custom bridal. It's the perfect time to upgrade, personalize, or say yes for the first time. Join us July 25th and 26th on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And for a limited time, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.44% APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Buckeye football training camp is coming. Catch live editions of Morning Juice, T-Bone, and Tybus and Bishop and Friends starting July 31st. They'll be close enough to smell the jock straps. Live on the Fan and YouTube. Yay football.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has unbeatable offers. Lease a sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $329 a month, or finance it with 3.99% APR. Or upgrade to Adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Leases starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Drive into summer with style, comfort, and confidence. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards, and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles, plus no interest until 2030. Visit windownation.com now.
All right, TLC, take us home, big dog.
All righty. Let's see. I got to shift my tabs around. Okay. Should I be excited about the McDonald's snack wrap? Never had one, but a lot of other people are getting excited about it. Oh, DeVere's excited about it.
You've never had a snack wrap?
I think he's trying to reach through the glass right now.
Hold on, wait. Were you too young to have a snack wrap?
I did see someone on Twitter say it's been 10 years or something like that.
You were too young for a snack wrap.
I mean, I would have been 16, so...
No, you weren't buying snack wraps, bro. You weren't eating snacky. You were getting hamburgers.
I'm from Dublin, so we got a big Wendy's bias in the family. So I was probably at Wendy's while the snack wrap was alive.
Okay, doing junior bacon cheeseburgers instead. I'm not mad at that.
So a snack, this is what a snack wrap is to me. I'm ready for dinner. I know I got to go home and cook, or she has to cook, but I need a little snack, a little something to take the hank off. Snack wrap. And guess what? Best part about it, TLC, $1.
Is it really?
They used to be.
Ice, how many calories?
Oh, if I had to guess, probably like
they're coming
400,
back?
400, probably somewhere in there, just off the top of the dome. Little tortilla, shredded lettuce, shredded cheese. I think a little ranch drizzle in there.
Real. It was real food.
What he's describing, when the snack wrap was on the $1 menu, it was in rare air.
It was rare.
I don't know if the ingredients are the exact same.
Sometimes it wouldn't even be together. You would have to rewrap it.
Wouldn't matter.
When you got
Didn't
it.
matter. Didn't care. I walked into McDonald's with $5. I spent $1 on a snack wrap, $1 on a McDouble, $1 on a fry, 2 apple pies and a drink, and I was living like a king.
And that was probably all you ate.
That's all I needed.
How many pounds ago was that?
Well, man, this is when I was like 15, 16, and I was probably eating that, going to practice and burning it off, and then eating some more garbage when I got home. To your TLC, I would try one. I would go to McDonald's, get yourself a snack wrap. And Depot, am I speaking out of turn when I said they had a grilled chicken option?
They had a grilled chicken option and the fry. You had the fried.
So
Either one.
You could get fried or grilled chicken. I don't know if that's happening right now, but go get yourself a snack wrap. It's a nostalgic thing for me.
Yep.
It would be like if Pizza Hut, and they may still have, like the
personal,
the Pizzone.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the personal joints.
Well, the personals were off the chain.
When you can order a personal pizza?
Oh, man, I used to get, that was such a great motivator. In elementary school, middle school, there was like a Pizza Hut book club or something like that.
What about, did you get the Frisch's every holiday, the free Frisch's
I
burgers?
never really did Frisch's.
Okay.
That wasn't a thing. But, man, Depot, it was like you had to read a certain amount of books and you got like a certain amount of stickers or whatever, and it was partnered with Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And you could go over there and get your little personal with some breadsticks.
Or Pizzone.
Yeah. That was, the Pizzone was, oh, my gosh. The Pizza Hut buffet, too?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Used to live off that thing on Refugee Road in Pickerington. But, yeah, TLC back to the snack wrap. Go get you one, man. Go get one.
I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation.
So Ice and I were looking up at the TVs, and we were shocked that Rob Manfred was not the person who was emceeing the press conference for Dave Roberts.
Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone. I kind of think of the name Aaron. I had Boone. I couldn't think of his first name. So it was the managers for the All-Star game and the starting pitchers. So Paul Skeens was next to Dave Roberts, and next to Aaron Boone was Tarek Skubal.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually Rob Manfred who is up at the podium kind of figuring this thing out. It was Pat McAfee. Now, I have no problem with you being annoyed with anybody. You know, some people are Taylor Swifted out, they're Kelsey'd out. Are you Pat McAfee'd out?
Man, here's the thing about McAfee. You love him or you hate him, but in media, that is a good thing for a personality, right? Like people love to watch Stephen A. Smith because you just hate to hear what he has to say, but you're going to at least watch it. And so I'm like there with McAfee on, like, I get how some people can be tired of him, but he does have an ability to talk about a lot of sports. And he does have a crazy following. And to be honest, the home run derby needs McAfee's viewers.
It's not a bad take at all. I don't have McAfee fatigue. You know I'm a big wrestling fan, so he's made his way over into wrestling over the last few years, and I think he does a pretty good job doing color commentary. Here's why I have a lot of respect for Pat McAfee. One, it's the brand that he built being a punter coming out of the NFL, right? To get to this point based off of the position that he played, because a lot of times it's like the quarterbacks, the star wide receivers you see doing a lot of big-time media stuff, right?
Absolutely.
But this guy carved out his own path, but really what made me gain a lot of respect for him, Depot, is how he took care of his guys. The guys that he had been grinding with before he blew up, he took care of all of those guys financially with the deal that they got from ESPN. So I respect the heck out of that. I don't have McAfee fatigue, but he is everywhere. Game day, WWE, his own show. He's getting to the bag, and I understand the people that have a little fatigue, but me personally, I'm not there just yet.
I don't like to be center stage.
Shout out to Adam King. And that was a lie. And that was Tell the Truth for today. Hey, if you guys miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up. Wherever you get your podcast, all you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice Podcast Depot. As always, we appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Go Bucks.
TLC, great job on the board, folks. We love you. We will talk to you tomorrow over at Ohio State. AR and I are taking the show on the road, doing a little special with the Ohio State basketball team tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Common Man Intimity coming up next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota of Columbus. Summer is the perfect time to gear up in a new truck from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, drive home the 2025 Toyota Tundra with 1.99 APR for 72 months, or take command of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, also just 1.99 APR for 72 months. Get power, performance, and unbeatable savings, all at Germain Toyota, located at 5711 Scarborough Boulevard on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Shop online anytime at germaintoyota.net.
The concert of the year. Paul McCartney, live. Paul McCartney got back. A night of hits. Saturday, November 8th, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale Friday, July 18th at paulmccartneygotback.com. Bigger, better, and back in 2025. Paul McCartney.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Beth, you're in charge of ordering the tacos for the meeting today, yeah?
I'm not going to order the tacos.
What?
I'm going to Easy Cater the tacos. With Easy Cater, you can order from a huge variety of restaurants, track expenses, and save time.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you're emailing the meeting notes, right?
No, I'm going to easy mail them. Where's my music?
Sorry, Ben. There's no Easy Cater for that.
Easy Cater, the easy way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
When it comes to home improvement, you've probably asked yourself a few key questions. Is the salesperson trustworthy? Will the company follow through on their promises? And is the work going to be a lasting solution, not just a quick fix? At Newman Roofing, we get it. As a locally based, family-owned company, we know how hard it can be to find a contractor you can truly trust. For over 33 years, we've been providing homeowners across Central Ohio with reliable roofing solutions done right the first time. When you choose Newman Roofing, you'll be greeted by value-driven professionals in clean company vehicles and crisp uniforms who show up with a smile and take the time to answer your questions. Because for us, it's not just about the roof. It's about protecting your home, your family, and the trust you place in us. If you're thinking about your roof or siding, call the local company that puts integrity first. Newman Roofing. Call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.